and this looks like it is working, which is a good start. But we'll give it another moment for everything to get set up, and then we'll be ready. There we go. Sounds like it's right. This game's intro, like, sat on the main menu music is so quiet. And as you can hear, the game's not that quiet. Like, that's a reasonable volume sound effect, but just... This is clearly not a game that expects you to sit quietly on the main menu screen. We're probably not going to hang around here too long. We will just jump in to playing. How's everyone doing today? I apologize in advance. I am still mildly dying, but it's been 8 days of being ill, and I have to get back to work now. I've got too much stuff to be doing to let this take any further days out of me, so I gotta get working. Means getting back to streaming. Hey, Saint Nobody. Thank you very much for the 33 months of sub. How is it my sub-anniversary again? Did I watch that little for the last month? Well, there's at least a week in which I didn't stream at all. Plus, I didn't stream I didn't stream on the Friday, and then I was ill for 8 days. And then, also, there was travel this month. This has been a very light month of streams for me, and I apologize that I've not done as many streams as I usually do in a month. It's travel plus being viciously ill just kind of does that to you. Right, let me pop out that chat so I can put it in the other corner so I can see it over there. There we go. Get a file going. Skip the Alan Wake stuff, that'd do it too. Yeah, I was never going to get through it if I didn't do it on stream, but I also understand not wanting to be spoiled on the thing you're going to get around to. Look, I already have thoughts. Look, I know that the idea of why the music on that opening menu is so quiet is because she hasn't put her headphones on yet, so that when you hit start, she puts the headphones on and you hear the music louder. I get that, but also, just let me have the music on the title screen. Hey, Cyborg Girl. Andy H, I'm doing better. I got some work done today, even if I am still consistently coughing and my throat feels like it has a lump in it, and I'm exhausted and a little emotionally wobbly, but I'm back. I'm just about back. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's play some Thirsty Suitors.
I don't know if a dating quiz is the best distraction from the disaster you've made of your life. But hey, what do I know? You're the one in charge here, Jala. You'd better answer.
Okay. This game is visually stylish as all hell. Like, it's got a great sense of visual identity. Thirst Sono quiz. Your date shows up in a terrible outfit. People are staring. What's your reaction? I mean, I might be embarrassed, but I'll stay. Like, you know, your fashion, like, it doesn't really bother me. What exactly
is a terrible outfit anyway? Some of my favorite outfits are objectively terrible.
As someone that sometimes has to dress for comfort rather than fashion because love that tism. Yeah, I ain't gonna judge.
That's true. Who cares why people are staring as long as you're the center of attention, right?
What's your worst quality as a romantic partner? God, this dating quiz is really getting into the heavy questions right away. I'm aloof, I'm flaky, I'm needy. I'm just going to answer this one as me. I'm needy as hell. I shouldn't need to be, but external validation is nice. Sometimes it's good to be told, hey, you're good. You ain't a fuck up. You're valuable. You know, sometimes I need that.
I just like detailed feedback?
I mean, how else would I know what I need to work on?
Exactly. Because look, if I don't get external feedback, I'm just going to assume I'm terrible, but in no actionable way, just generally, and that's not good. I gotta know if I fucked up, and if so, how do I fix it? How do I be good?
Standardized.
Ooh. I need to stop skipping the dialogue by A-mashing. Ah, I can turn around on that. Interesting. Your partner says, I love you, way too soon. What do you do when you're under pressure? Oh, gosh. Don't ghost, don't lash out.
You just put a smile on your face and say it back, right?
Oh.
Not if you don't mean it.
But maybe I do. I mean, how do you know how you feel really? Sometimes you just have to decide, right?
That ain't healthy, Jala.
Make a plan. Carry it through. Fake it till you make it.
Ooh.
This is why your romantic life is a trash fire.
Your carefully planned date goes completely wrong. What do you do? I would like to say go with the flow. It's making you plan. I live and thrive off plans, and I'll make another one, but I do need to like go, okay, we regroup. What's the new plan? Hey, frame into focus.
I probably had at least 3 backup plans, so yeah.
Yeah, chronic over planner.
Speaking of plans,
Holy hell!
are you ever planning to call me back, Jala? I haven't heard your voice in 6 months. Your sister's such a bore. Good thing you have me instead.
Yeah, the imaginary voice in our head has taken the form of our sister. Don't know what that means, but we'll find out. Saint Nobody in the Twitch chat says, just how thirsty are the suitors in this game? Pretty thirsty. You're gonna meet the first one pretty soon, and that first one, at the very least, is very thirsty.
You're the same person.
We're really not. You imagined me with her face, but I'm the voice inside your head. I know things about you she could never begin to understand. We're way closer than sisters, Jala.
Ooh. What are you most thirsty for? Oh. Safety, freedom, or success? Ah. I mean, you're really throwing the big questions out early. Honestly, I feel like the answer's safety. Just, you know, reliability. A safe spot to come back to and be like, you can just be you, and that's fine.
I don't want to get hurt.
Oh, she meant that a different way, huh?
You sound like a scared little girl.
Get out of my head, Ma.
Pain is part of life, Jala. You can't hide from it.
I'm not hiding from anything. That's why I'm coming back. I'm done running away.
Ouch. Still think it's a good idea to go home? They all hate you, Jala. Can you blame them?
Fun. Mark Kenosis in the Twitch chat says, the Quiz Beaver? Question mark is very cute. They got a very cute design to them. I keep trying to work out what they make me think of, and I feel like they would be like a dentist in a national park. It would be like on their like office door.
Shut up. Ugh, fine. Guess I'll leave you to skate away your feelings.
I need to look at them again, but that's... Oh, okay, I definitely can jump off of the imaginary grind rail in my mind. Yeah, they'd be a very radical beaver that you'd get at the dentist's office on a sticker saying, like, I turned up on time for my appointment at 2:30. And they'd be doing the, like, arms crossed over pose. Have you ever been in love? Yeah.
That's none of your...
Just answer the question, Jala.
Yeah, this is the X. This is very clearly the X in this game. The big one.
Tyler?
Don't I deserve an answer? Isn't that why you're on a bus back home? Because you owe me an answer?
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I played the start of this and I'm going off several weeks old memory, a week of being very ill in the middle. I think Tyler's non-binary, and yeah, what I remember of Tyler was that they're very clearly like the relationship and the catastrophic breakup. Like, this is the when Jala's thinking of exes, like, this is the one that goes in the dictionary under X. I believe is the deal.
Did you love me, Jala?
I did.
I thought it would help to hear you say that, but it just makes everything worse.
Yeah, I intended to play more of this, and then illness happened. This was on my once Alan Wake was out the way list.
I loved you, Jala, but you knew that. You broke my heart.
My understanding is this game isn't super lengthy, so it should be one we can do like the whole game on stream, which would be nice. Yes, this is...
Before the results, why don't we just ask your exes what they think of you? Should be illuminating.
Selfish, lying, arrogant, cruel, heartless.
Congratulations, your thirst sonar is the star. You never see it coming, but there's just something about you people find irresistible. You crave status and approval. Oh god, craving approval. Me. Who could say?
But have you ever asked yourself why you need to be liked so much?
Ooh, Saint Nobody in the Twitch chat says, I just saw today that there's a nasty flu variant they just announced is circulating in the UK. Apparently you're ahead of the curve. Did you have a flu shot this year and get it anyway? Hadn't had a flu shot this year. Had not been offered one. Because I am in good enough health that I'm not that high up the list to get offered one at this moment, but yeah. So for anyone who's unaware, I spent like the last 8 days basically on bed rest. I've had the flu before. This was pretty fucking bad. It was multiple days of just, I can do nothing but lie here. So, I'm here, I'm alive now, we're all good. Where are we going to put our points? We have a point in the star already. Can you help it when people keep falling for you with you? It's not like you're even nice to them. You're busy protecting yourself, you push others away, what are you afraid of? The Bohemian. You spend your life defying expectations. Is it because you're a rebel or because you don't think you can live up to them? Let's put a point into the Bohemian. Yeah, I'm feeling better now, but gosh, it was a rough
Timber
week.
Hills, our hometown.
And not an ideal week for it, because I can't go into specifics, but I can say the PS5 access controller, the new accessibility controller, those showed up while I was in the midst of being incredibly ill, and I've got a review coming. I can't say anything until the review goes up about my opinions, but was not ideal to be like, this is probably going to be the biggest accessibility episode of the year in terms of, like, eyeballs on it, and not ideal to be spending as much time as I was that week just, like, on bed rest.
I still don't get why we're back here. You're like a serial killer driven to return to the scene of the crime.
You know, like, be a person taking responsibility. We're gonna be a healthy, sensible adult and deal with our exes reasonably.
I'm not here to relive the past. I'm here to make up for it.
You don't fix things, Jala. You break them.
I can change.
You're just going to hurt yourself. All you're doing is picking at scabs. Coming back here was a mistake.
Probably.
I have a lot of practice making mistakes. Maybe I'm getting good at them.
You're being selfish. As usual. I don't know why I even bother trying to help you. You're hopeless.
Yeah, over here in the UK, because everyone's already paying for the national health system, there's no incentive to getting you to get your jabs, and as such, they'll like give them to the people in most need first. The less money we spend on you, the better if we can make it happen. So, I sure have had the flu now.
We can't hang out at the diner all night. You need to call someone to give you a ride home. Who's it gonna be?
My parents could give me a ride home?
I could call home and hope that Dad picks up instead of Mom.
It's after 10 p.m. What if you give Dad a heart attack?
Ooh.
Mom's had him on a low-cholesterol diet since we were kids.
You really want to test that. You know he sneaks cashew nuts from the cupboard when she's not looking.
Cyborg Girl in the Twitch chat says, I did my flu shot and COVID booster recently. I want to get more COVID jabs, but apparently I've had too many of them. They won't let me have more of them. I tried to take part in another COVID vaccine trial, and they were like, yeah, yes. I can't remember what it was. It was like 6 vaccines, I think, was the cutoff for inclusion in the trial, and they were like, yeah, you've had just slightly too many COVID vaccines. I'm like, yeah, but I'm happy to test science. Give me more. I could ask my older sister to pick us
Aruni's
up.
probably still up.
That's gonna go well. You haven't called her in months. Why would you? You have me to talk to instead. I'm clearly the
Also, hey,
superior
Echo.
version.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the welcome back, Echo. I'm doing better. I made an entire episode of Accessibility today, granted a little shorter than usual, but it's done. It'll be up this week. And started writing another episode of Accessibility that I have to write this week. I started on that today, so I'm doing all right. Also, tomorrow is release date for the Gender Euphoria audiobook. In theory, I don't know whether it people can get it starting at midnight, but in theory, in 3 hours in my time zone, Gender Euphoria will be available as an audiobook. I'm very curious to listen to it and find out if I did okay.
But crucially, you can't drive a car.
Wow. Way to rub it in. You think I like only existing in your head?
Maybe I should just call Tyler and get it over with.
I mean, yes, Tyler's your ex-bestie, but she's also your ex. The ex. And given the way you ended things...
Probably hates my guts.
Probably.
Okay, she definitely hates me.
Sorry, sis. The truth hurts, but it'll set you free.
You know what my biggest question mark about the Gender Euphoria audiobook is? I don't know the answer to this one. This is going to be a fun gamble for me, is... I don't know what that audiobook is doing with the couple of instances in that book of, the word tranny. It is a book by a bunch of trans people talking about lived experiences, and, occasionally that particular term comes up. But in the book, it's asterisked on the letter A, so it's mildly censored, but it's still clear what's being said. I don't know whether... I did a few different reads of this for the audiobook booth, and I don't know what they're using. I don't know whether it's going to be used uncensored, whether it's going to be beeped in post, or whether they're using the line reads where I just referenced the T slur. I'm very curious which of those... the person in the booth had no idea what they wanted to... what the publisher wanted to, just do 3 reads and we'll work it out. But that's my big question mark, is I want to know... What amount of me using that term makes it into the audiobook? That's a fun surprise for me.
Jala, remember when I said coming back here was a mistake? Is it a good time to say I told you so?
What?
Oh.
Already?
First X.
Hope you're ready for some long-delayed emotional catharsis, because your 3rd grade boyfriend just walked in the door.
Sergio?
Yep. Here's our first ex, Sergio. Thirst level high. Jala's 3rd grade boyfriend. Overconfident, insecure, macho, needy, and far, far, far too thirsty. Yep, this guy.
You look surprised to see me, Jala. Or are you just admiring the view?
You look ready for a Bollywood close-up, and I feel like an extra in a bad horror movie. Way to make a girl feel inadequate.
What? No, you look gorgeous. As always.
One of these days, we really have to talk about your susceptibility to cheap flattery.
Yeah, so there is like a combat system in this that is weirdly evocative of like a mix between like Paper Mario and Persona, but also dialogue interactions surrounding it. Like I really enjoy I guess combat systems you would call them around the exes in this.
It's been a while.
3 years, 2 months, and 14 days. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, it did.
I take everything back. This is the most fun I've had in months. Sergio's had it bad for Jala since Mrs. Garcia made them project partners in 3rd grade. His crush survived the geography club after school incident, puberty, and Jala's extremely public on-again, off-again romance with Tyler all through high school.
Echo, yes, this is the game that is Tony Hawk's gay dating combat visual novel. Yes. This game is a lot of things at different times. We're gonna go through. There's some Cooking Mama in there as well. Don't worry about that. This game is gonna be a lot of things.
His thirst is kind of pathetic, but you can't deny he has stamina.
Yeah, Softex. Here's the thing. I don't think any of the uses of that term were from any of my own essays, and it's one of those things where I wanted to walk the line of being respectful of other people's stories when I was narrating other people's stories, specifically from the context of, like, I know one of the uses of the T-slur in the book is from a trans woman living in Brazil talking about the euphoria that exists in resistance living under Bolsonaro. And that is a case where I'm like, yeah, if you want to be, like, very, very direct in the language about how people refer to you, I feel reluctant to censor that in any way. But also I'm working with a publisher, and that, you see how these things go.
Anyway, how's Jennifer?
Probably in Seattle with her new girlfriend.
Or in hell, with any luck.
You're single. Would you believe I am too?
I kinda would believe you were. Okay, here we go. So, you've got your basic attacks.
Come on, Sergio. Let's dance.
Did I mention I spent a year abroad? I learned a lot of new moves in Milan.
I hope you're ready, because I have a few new moves of my own.
What do I have to lose?
Your dignity? Oh, wait. Just remember, Jala, there are no winners in a psychodrama battle with your 3rd grade boyfriend.
I fucking love the sentence, there are no winners in a psychodrama battle with your 3rd grade boyfriend. Someone had a hell of a time writing this.
Only Luke. Just kidding. You could both win the prize of friendship and emotional maturity. How does
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Actually kind of nice.
Oh, look, you're growing as a person already.
Indeed.
Yeah, we've got Uncle Hinty who gives you hints. You can block attacks by, like, timing a button press right and do extra damage by timing a button press right. It's the Paper Mario thing. Yeah, so it overlaps the ring and you hit A.
Indeed.
Yeah.
My mom says I'm irresistible, and my mom is always right. Ah! I still think about our first kiss. You remember? On the trip to the Seattle Aquarium in 3rd grade. It was so magical. Our lips touching, bathed in the blue-green light of the tank, surrounded by moon jellies.
Ugh, why is everyone so obsessed with firsts?
The patriarchy?
Right? And most first times are disappointing anyway.
What was I disappointing?
Well, as first kisses go, was pretty memorable, though I prefer our second, third, and fourth kisses. Mrs. Garcia had to come pry us out of the marine mammals exhibit.
Oh my god, she was so mad! But I didn't care.
Look, I'm not going to be mean to him for no reason. I'm just going to push back a little on his pushiness.
Third grade was pretty traumatic for me, you know? My parents got divorced, my dad left town.
Oh.
And never really looked back. His mom spoiled him rotten to make up for it, which didn't work, obviously.
You're the only good thing I can remember from that time. We shared something special, Jala.
We were 7. You gotta let it go, sir.
And deep down, I know you feel the same way too. And I'm not gonna let you ruin it. I'm finally gonna be my dad's favorite son.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Aren't you an only child?
My mom says she sees girls look at me everywhere I go. But you're the only one I have eyes for.
Then maybe you...
Hey, Jala, have you noticed Sergio's really thirsty for you?
I am aware of
You
his
should try using that
thirstiness.
to your advantage.
Indeed.
Okay, yeah, we got to use thirst taunts. So these are like your specials. Each character you fight is susceptible to different kinds of thirsty taunt. You got to work out what kind of thirsty there are and taunt them to take advantage of that. So we've got the generic thirsty taunt, which is hopefully going to work here.
Are we flirting? Or are we fighting?
Why not both?
Which will give you like multiple turns of a status effect inflicted, and then certain kinds of attacks
entitled
will be
dicks like
stronger while that's active.
Indeed.
Yeah, so he's in a thirsty move. If we use a corresponding skill, so Suitor Slam is extra powerful against thirsty opponents, and Sergio's thirsty for 3 turns. So we're gonna use that.
When are you gonna grow up and be your own person?
Yeah, Nora Raven in the YouTube chat says, dude dances like he
Your
soiled
dad's
his
been giving me
drawers.
mustache grooming
He's got a stance for sure.
It's every girl's dream to date a man who takes grooming tips from her father.
right? I thought you'd like it.
I don't dislike Sergio. I honestly think he's okay, but like very clearly Sergio's problem is that he likes the idea of Jala, not actually the person. He's not seen her in several years. They kissed, he's still hung up on the fact they kissed once when they were 7. Like, if he would just like pull back like 20% and be like, hey, it's really nice you're back in town. Do you want to catch a drink? It'd be really nice to spend some time together, get to know you more. I'd be kind of into Sergio. He's just a little bit like putting the cart before the horse. Sorry, they kissed at least 4 times when they were 7. I apologize. Yeah, so we can take advantage of this still.
You don't fool me. I see the scared little boy hiding behind all this swagger.
Apologies for the coughing, it's just gonna happen today.
Oh,
Yep, he attacked himself in confusion because of the thirsty stat. Yes, the visual elements pulsing to the music is real good.
kind of both? At the same time? Is that weird? I don't even care.
Okay, yeah. Do one more of these.
You can't deny we look good together, Jala. Think about it. You and me, we could run this whole town.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, a big portion of me picking this game to be the next one we play through on stream is the fact that I knew it had voice acting, and that's gonna just put a little less pressure on me to, like, I can talk, I can make that work. But if I was gonna have to voice act these characters and put on, like, my man voice to voicemail characters, that would just put my voice back in the not great zone.
very least, my dad's used car empire.
That's your dream, not mine. Why would I want to run this shitty town? I ran away from it the moment I could.
Because you didn't have me at your side.
Yeah, is this what you want, or are you just trying to do what will impress your dad?
Do you really want to take over your dad's business?
I want him to be proud of me. He thinks I'm shallow, that I won't amount to anything. Everyone does.
Who cares what your dad thinks? Your mom thinks the sun shines out of your butt, and she's the one who actually stuck around.
Hey, look. Jala's, like... here's what I will say for what Jala's saying here. Your mum loves you, and who cares what the fuck your dad thinks? He didn't stick around. As someone that grew up with a dad that left when I was, like, 2, yeah. Wanting the approval of parent who left, very real thing. It is a journey you have to go on to be like, I have the approval of the parent who stayed, what the fuck do I care what the parent who left thinks? But, you know, when you're that young and a parent leaves, it really does kind of instill a, oh no, what was wrong, what's wrong with, what am I not good? In you that, you know, you gotta unpack that sometimes.
See? That's exactly what I need in my life, Jala. Someone to tell me the truth, even when I don't want to hear it. I can't let you go again. I've been waiting a long time to get a few things off my chest. I love you, Jala.
Ha ha ha, very funny joke, Softex. Ha 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 ha.
Of lime green Play-Doh in 3rd grade.
It's got a good fucking outfit though, right?
Lovely? This is the longest conversation we've had in over a decade.
Yeah, Softex, I didn't want to go and blast too much. I'm like, that's a little past the line, but it's all cool. No worries. Yeah, he didn't know me. Didn't change the fact that me as a young child was like clearly well. Okay, fun fact. This is getting to Laura Trauma corner. I explicitly was told at about age 6 or 7 that my dad left because I, as a 2-year-old, didn't sleep and cried all the time, and that pushed him to cheat on my mum. I know as an adult, that's bullshit. But, you know, this is not just me assuming things. I explicitly got told by a parent who left that I was the reason they left, so, you know. Sometimes parents be like that. They just decide, like, hey, what if I just real fucked you up? Yeah. One of these days, I will write the weird fucking... So I wrote a memoir, Uncomfortable Labels. I talked very little about my dad in that book, and the one time I mentioned him, he got really fucking pissed off about, but I could write a fucking essay about the weird shit my dad did. There's so many weird fucking stories of ways he just decided to drop... Hey, I'm just gonna fuck you up. I'm just gonna drop this on you. There we go. Peace out. He was wild. Yeah. Oh, Echo, we continue to share weirdly similar formative life experiences. Softex, it's no worries. I'm in sharing corner now because fuck it, why not? Here's a fun one. When I was about 7, my dad decided to tell me for no particular reason. I might have a secret older brother that I will never meet because he cheated on a married woman behind her husband's back, and she never got a, like, paternity test, so either my dad is the father or her husband is the father. We'll never fucking know. But I will never meet this potential older brother because the woman involved does not want him ever knowing that his parentage is in question. And I was told about this age 7 because my dad, without telling my mum, decided to name me after my secret half older brother. That's a fun one. when you're 7 to process. He told me that on the way to dropping me home to my mum, and then just fucking left. The next morning over breakfast, I was weirdly quiet. Mum was like, "What's up?" And that was a story to come out of the dinner table. Yeah, I got some weird childhood stories. Anyway, Thirsty Suitors.
Yeah? And whose fault is that?
Softex said, "How did you not turn into a criminal?" You know what I turned into? Someone desperately craving external validation. A person making content on the internet. Tee-hee. Oh, Echo, you don't even have to get me drunk. Off stream, I will get into some of these fucking stories with you off stream, Echo.
Yours, because you're so catastrophically weird when we do talk.
This thing between us, it's real, Jala. And I'm gonna prove it to you.
But yes, point being, I can understand Sergio's desire for a parental approval. Because apparently this is the corner of stream we're in tonight. So, I can't use the Thirsty Taunt on Sergio because we've already used the Thirsty Taunt on Sergio. It's no longer going to be effective. He won't fall for the same taunt again. There's a question mark in the top right. There is a type of taunt he will fall for that we haven't used on him yet. But currently, I don't have a second form of taunt to try on him. So, we're going to use regular attacks to just try and bump the magic bar back up.
This is Sergio's inner world. In here, he's the person he desperately wishes he could be out there. Cool, smooth, invulnerable to attack.
Impeccably waxed.
Focus. If you want to get anywhere, you have to shatter that invulnerability by summoning...
Oh, I know exactly what mechanic we're about to get access to.
Like most South Asian men, all it takes to destroy Sergio's ego is a single word from his mom. But since we can't bring her into this, we have to summon the next best thing. Our mom.
Indeed.
We're gonna summon a mum into this fight to break his indomitable, his invincible courage. He can't stay this confident if we summon a mum at him.
Mom!
This game's fucking great. Right, Echo, Game of the Year material right here.
Not the chapel! No!
It started floating when we went into the Mind Palace and
Can't believe you brought your mom
started
into
fighting
this.
against his inner alter ego. His persona, if you will.
You started it.
I guess it's a good sign. You want me to meet your parents.
Oh, I did that
All the
wrong?
toxic masculinity Sergio's got going on? I kind of suspect he'd be really easy to put into a rage.
There we go, that's... Yeah. So once you get into the main game, like, rather than just being handed the specific thing that the person's going to fall for, you have a selection of them and you have to try and intuit from the dialogue what kind of taunt is going to work on them, discover their weaknesses. Oh.
Didn't you have a shrine of me in your locker in middle school? The janitor made you throw it out at the end of the semester.
That wasn't a shrine. It was a tasteful collection of basketball memorabilia.
Indeed.
Hooray, now we can do a skill that's effective against rage. So we're going to do this one. He knocked him out of his trousers.
Do you like the fact that I stick around even when you insult me?
This is the moment to be honest.
I guess, yeah. It's kind of a power trip. An ego boost when I need one.
Haha! So you admit it. I make you feel good about yourself.
Look, neither of these people is healthy, but I'm glad that they're talking it through and being honest about their hang-ups.
You're both terrible people.
That's the secret. Understand and
All I wanted was your
acknowledge
respect.
your fuck-ups
You
and
don't
work on
respect
them.
anyone or anything, do you?
Right, this conversation battle system is fucking great. It's I talked about this on Podquisition, but I maintain what I said. The Shin Megami Tensei series has always tried to do dialogue options.
Grade school behind, Sergio.
Dialogue options as part of combat, and it's never really worked. The answers you need to do to be successful have never really made sense with the prompts provided. This is a game that really understands dialogue meets battle system as a cohesive thing. It meshes Shin Megami Tensei and Persona in those regards in a way I think really works. Also, one thing I really like for these QuickTime event prompts
Not anymore. I'm a new man now.
is you can mash them early. So, like, when it says to hit A when the circle overlaps with the circle, you just kind of mash A early and, like, be button mashing it when the circle meets it, and you'll get the perfect grade. Or you can hold the analog stick in the direction before it reaches you, and that's fine. You still get the perfect mark. I like a little of that removing of timing precision in some areas.
You know, I actually kind of liked that weedy nerd who shared his lunch with me. The self-important jerk you've become? Not so much.
Indeed.
Your willpower is real low. Do some basic attacks to get back here. Yeah, we gotta get our magic meter back up. And there we
Sorry
go.
I came on so strong, Jala. I've had this fantasy of you in my head for so long. It's time I got to know the real you. I'm ready to move on if you are.
I'm glad we figured that out, 'cause I kinda need a favor.
There we go. We had a reasonable conversation with our ex and admitted some of our flaws on both sides, and we're doing a little better. We did some work on unpacking relationship-y things. Now, I will say this once, and I will say nothing else about this because I don't want to spoiler other people the way I was spoiled. And I'm going to be vague about this. There is another piece of media out there at the moment that a lot of people are talking about that I have been made aware shares themes with this, in as much as the way I described this on Podquisition. One of the ways I described this on Podquisition has apparently somewhat come to pass. Now, I haven't seen the other piece of media being referenced. Some of you will know what that is. I will say, hey, to the 9 or 10 people who messaged me going, hey, no spoilers, but this thing you said about thirsty suitors, well, have you checked out this piece of media? Wink, wink. You weren't being as subtle as you thought you were. You were spoiling that other piece of media pretty hard. But yes, there is another piece of media that I've been made aware is similar in how it deals with, hey, maybe just have a fucking conversation with your ex, themes. And that I am saying this purely to go, I am aware of the thing. No one needs to tell me about the thing today on hint about the thing on stream today. I am aware. I want to assure you all I am aware of the piece of media everyone's talking about that is apparently similar to this. There you go. Yeah, it's Undertale. You caught it, Cyber Girl.
Where's the emergency? You told me one of the neighborhood cats got run over.
Yeah, about that. I lied.
So I take it you didn't get me an interview with one of the skate punks?
No, better. Sergio has some big news.
Jala's back! She's in Timber Hills. And she's not with Jennifer anymore.
Who could have seen that coming?
So what?
So, we're all Jala's exes. I thought everyone would want to know.
Saint Nobody in the Twitch chat says, I wouldn't have described Donna as the Doctor's ex. I will say, I have, don't financially support the BBC or Disney, but I have seen that new Doctor Who episode that's up, and, without spoilers, I think my thoughts on that episode, it's one of those things I was expected to have opinions on. I think my opinions on the trans representation in the new Doctor Who episode honestly mirror most people's when I get into the nuance of it, which is largely well handled. Dead naming was completely unnecessary. Like, cis creators, stop including your trans characters' dead names in within the first 5 minutes of meeting them. Never really necessary. I think I know it's not intentional, but the weirdly implying that all trans people, binary trans or not, are non-binary and some kind of third gender that isn't male or female is like a weird implication that probably wasn't intended, but it still kind of happened anyway. Good that Donna is presented as like a pretty fierce, good trans ally parent. I think that's basically everyone's thoughts on how the episode is handled. Yeah. No. Saint Nobody, I know that's not what you're referring to, but yeah. People have been asking about my opinions on that Doctor Who thing. Yeah, Echo in the Twitch chat says, I like the LGBT stuff in the new Who, but it was very, I'm an ally, but I don't actually have any trans friends. Yeah, like, I think the biggest misstep, and like, to not go into huge specifics, is there is a trans character who, while they never get into the specifics, she's only ever referred to with she, her pronouns and as a daughter. And like, every implication for most of the episode is that she's like a binary trans girl. And then a big sort of crux of the end of the episode is, we had 3 genders represented here. We had male, we had female, and we had not the binary in this trans person. And like, a she, her using a non-binary person is entirely valid, but I also don't think that nuance is what the cis man creator of that was going for. I think he just thought man, woman, trans are the 3 genders. Like, that's the vibe it gave off. And it's not enough to have made it like a bad episode. It was just like it was one of those, like, your heart's in the right place, but you could have run this past some people, probably. But yeah, there you go.
Jelly Beans is back? That is big news.
So, did you confess your love, or did you throw up before you got the words out?
I did. Confess, I mean. Not throw up. Sorry, Tyler. I know you two have your whole big doomed romance thing.
Tennant definitely has a trans person in their life, and he's very trans positive, for sure. Echo says, apart from her intro where she gets misgendered by dudes on the street, and then her grandma directly after, so Donna could have a slightly heartwarming, slightly cringe speech. I thought Donna's speech was honestly pretty good for parent trying to look after their kid. I don't even hate it. I just think that, like, the dead name didn't need to be there. Yeah, there are so many ways to not include a trans character's dead name. In order, you can present that a trans character goes through experiences transphobia without telling the audience their dead name. Like, that's really easy. Softex, I mean, you could just jump into this Doctor Who episode. All you really need to know is David Tennant was the Doctor. He travelled with someone called Donna. Her memory was wiped, and she's like, if she remembers him, she'll die. There you go. That's all you need to know to jump into this Doctor Who episode. Echo, yeah, it felt a bit forced, but I don't mind a cis creator doing a slightly forced, but generally well handled, like, you know, if you want to do your here is Donna being a trans ally speech, you could do worse than that.
There's a crater where we used to be. It's extinct. I'm over her.
Whatever, Tyler. I'm gonna make her fall for me, and then crush her.
That doesn't sound very emotionally healthy.
Oh, what isn't healthy about long overdue revenge for being humiliated in middle school by your first crush?
Ooh, fiery and gorgeous. How have we never met before? I'd remember you.
Down, boy. She doesn't play for your team.
Oh, yeah, Echo, I can understand being on edge. It's one of those things. I get what they're trying to do. I think I don't think the grandmother was the most egregious. If you were going to change if I was going to take one thing out of that episode, that wouldn't be the one. Madam Executioner says, is having the dead name being in the book just bad because it's kind of like misery porn where they experience transphobia? I don't get how that's really bad, but only specifically in the context of fictional character. Okay, let me give you like a vague example here. So let's say I'm making a piece of media with a trans character, and as a cis creator, and I decide to have someone shout this trans woman character's dead name at her on camera. So the consumer of the piece of media now knows that character's dead name. They now have the ability to dead name that character in a way that they wouldn't have done if that character's dead name hadn't been included in the piece of media. And a really easy example of what that leads to is when The Last of Us 2 came out, there's a character called Lev, who is a trans man, whose dead name is shouted by one character in one fight for no particular reason. Cue 3 weeks of the wiki for that game constantly being a battleground of transphobes trying to change all the instances of Lev's name to the dead name instead of Lev, and like trying to remove all instances of Lev's chosen name and replace them with the dead name. That's a thing that you can't do unless the creator tells you the dead name. It's it's one of those things where by having that information there, transphobic viewers have the ability to go, oh, that's what I'll call the character then. If you don't tell them the dead name, a transphobic viewer has no choice but to refer to them by their post-transition name, because they don't have another name to refer to them by. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so unnecessary to do, and it just gives people who want to delegitimize a trans character ammunition that just does not need to be given to them. Yeah, like, you know, there are other issues, but that's the one that it's the easiest one, I think, to explain, of like, it changes the dynamic if you have a shitty transphobic audience because you've given them an additional tool with which to delegitimize not just that character, but like with which to make discussions of the piece of media more unpleasant for trans people because they're like more quickly clued into, oh god, I'm dealing with one of those fans. Yeah. Anyway.
I was thinking we could all get closure. Maybe even be friends.
Yeah, let's all be friends with Jala. League of Exes.
Oh, wait, you're joking, right? The rest of you can do whatever the hell you like. But trust me on this. The last thing I want is to be Jala Jairatna's friend.
Oh, Tara, congrats on the HRT appointment. I hope it goes well for you. Jala's back in Timber Hills and reconciled with her third grade boyfriend, Sergio. His shiny new biceps definitely helped. Now onto the reconciliation tour. Next up on the reconciliation tour, her family. Oh, we're gonna get some cooking mama in a minute. I'm ready.
Indeed.
Okay. Let's equip that battle charm.
Jala, you're awake.
Now, get ready to meet some of the most judgmental parents on the planet. Ish. Kinda. We'll get there.
As you can see, I brushed my teeth and got dressed without setting the house or myself on fire.
That's not actually reassuring, Jala. As we all know, you can cause plenty of catastrophe without burning the house down. I made breakfast, but don't expect to be waited on hand and foot while you're staying here. Since Aruni moved out, I'm out of the habit of cleaning up after messy children.
Lovely, lovely warm welcome home, isn't it?
Are you and Dad doing okay on your own? Empty nest and all that?
Aruni is not the one who's been giving us sleepless nights. Better question is, are you okay? I take it that girl finally got tired of you.
Yeah, this is not the way to make your kid feel like, hey, coming home was a great choice, I should do it more often. she's written so well to be the like the mum who is oblivious to how much she is not rewarding the behavior she wants. She wants her kid to come back home more and see her more, but is really, really not incentivizing that behavior.
Ow. I'm glad I didn't expect you to be sensitive about it.
How old is Jala? I don't know. I think early 20s.
Good. I wouldn't want you to have unrealistic expectations.
Can I find out? Does not specify. We can maybe Google.
That girl better not show her face here, if she knows what's good for her.
Oh, Echo. Yeah, Echo says, like when you're a kid and your parents mock you every time you leave your bedroom and then wonder why you hardly leave your bedroom. Yeah, for me it was taking the rubbish downstairs from my bedroom and the, like, comments of, like, oh, have you ended up with that much rubbish in your room already? Or something to that effect. And being like, this is making me feel perceived and guilty while I'm doing the thing that you would like me to do. Yeah. Oh yes, the mug collection. I'm bringing down the several, plates and cups or whatever, and the comments that then come when you bring them down. Healthy relationships.
She won't.
You hope.
Why did our sister move out?
Did you guys get into a fight or something?
No, Jala. I'm not so terrible a mother that both my children feel the need to flee into the night.
Can you at least wait until breakfast to start with the passive-aggressive remarks?
I've been waiting 3 years, Jala. What's another 15 minutes,
Yeah, you've not seen your kid in 3 years. Maybe, like, chill on the passive aggressiveness just like a tiny bit if you don't want this to be another 3 years before you see her again.
I checked the food for arsenic, just in case.
Did she leave town like I did?
Nobody has quite left Timber Hills like you did. She has her own place in town. It's not far. She comes for dinner a few times a week.
Yeah, I wonder why Jala doesn't do so as well, huh?
Though that might change now that you're back home. Maybe you should talk to your sister instead of interrogating me.
She's not answering my texts.
I wonder why. You better make it right with her, Jala. And soon. She's getting married at the end of the month.
That's kind of important news to share, Mom.
Usually, I'm all aboard the blame mom for everything train. But I think this signal failure's on you, sweetie.
Cyborg Girl in the Twitch chat says, I like how Dad is silent throughout this. Yeah, you're gonna find out what Dad's dynamic in this whole thing is shortly, and I think it's fucking fantastic. I love what Dad is in this mechanic.
This is your
morning, Jala Banana.
The second word he says is Jala Banana. That's everything I needed to know about this man. Is Jala Banana is the second word out of his mouth.
It's good to see you, Apache.
You too, sweetie. You're my favorite younger daughter. You're home. Back where you belong. That's all that matters.
He is kind of hot.
I made a mistake when I left. I need to put it right.
Well, at least you can admit it was a mistake. That's something.
It's not going to be the same as it was, Jala. But that's okay too,
I need to talk to Aruni. Do I even know who she's marrying?
Do you even know if you're invited to the wedding?
Amma!
It's Aruni's choice, Jala. Not ours.
Don't look so defeated, Jala. This is a small town full of gossiping aunties. How hard could it be to track your sister down if you put...
Okay, I can't cook him mama quite yet.
So I guess we just skate around Arnie's favorite spots downtown till we find her? Do you even want to find her? It's not going to be a fun conversation.
I've already had excruciating conversations with my parents, several diner patrons, and my third grade boyfriend. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be hard.
Cyborg Girl says, have you seen the tweet
But
about Jala's
I'm
jacket
not
and shoes?
afraid of
No, I
hard work,
haven't. What is the
unlike
tweet?
I'm just saying. Maybe you should give her the space she so clearly wants. What's the point in arguing? Let's earnestly bulldoze our way ahead, as usual.
Yeah, I see where her jacket is hanging up, yes. Wait for the other half of this fact. The jacket and shoes are actually an extremely contorted model of Jala with just her body turned transparent. Huh! Huh. Huh. Well. Anyway, let's head downtown. Honestly, that is exactly the kind of jank that I expect of any video game. If it works, just fucking leave it be. Okay, I gotta fuck up less, but... Right, so... Let's check all these places for possible sister sightings. Oh! Okay. For anyone who likes dogs, this game might have the best dog petting mini-game that has ever existed. Like, I'm not a dog person, but I can't deny this is a fucking great pet the dog interaction. So we gotta rotate, pet the dog. Then the dog does a kickflip. Then we high-five the dog. And then we do fist bumps. And then we do a secret handshake with the dog. And then we scritch the chin. And then we get licked. That's a pretty powerful pet the dog prompt. How does the dog know all that? I don't know. Well-trained dog. Okay. He's not here. Right, Jala's fucking great on that board. We've not even made it to the skate park where skate battles have to happen. But yes, time to learn about how random battles in this game happen. Or not so random. The mysterious box of, gift or grift. You either get an item, or you have to fight a random battle against some weirdo your grandmother has tried to set you up on an arranged marriage with. Indian matrimonial ads come to life, sent to you with love from party. Yeah, basically your grandmother is trying to set up an arranged marriage for you, and sometimes you will just have random battles with men that she found on the internet, presumably.
Hey, are you Jala? Jala Jayaratna?
Can I just say this is exactly the vibe of a man that your grandmother found on the internet? Like, if like an old woman typed on the internet, please find a good man for my granddaughter, this is who would show up. He did moonwalk while handstanding, yes, Echo.
I've been looking for you all over town.
Seems unfair that you know my name and I don't know yours.
Your party thought we'd be a good match.
My grandma certainly has interesting taste in men.
You really didn't know I was coming?
It is quite a fabric pattern on that shirt, huh?
No.
Oh well. Hope you like surprises, Jala. 'Cause I'm here and I'm ready to settle down with a girl like you.
Indeed.
Okay. We've got to learn about shocking taunts now. Right.
Don't scuff these shoes.
I love the eyes bulging out of the head when the status effect is on. Right, there's so many weird little visual choices this game makes that I think are
The
great.
shop assistant said this pattern would mesmerize you.
Yeah, so the thing about a nerd teacher in the YouTube chat, I think, was pointing this out. The pattern on this man's shirt does not move. And what I mean by that is, if you watch this man move his arm, like, the flowers will stay in place while the arm moves through them. There is a clear, like, single sheet of what the pattern is, and the shirt is just revealing whatever segment it's in front of. And that's fucking wild. Echo says, my nan told me to marry for money and then for love. You're too pretty for work. But thankfully stopped short of setting me up with anyone. Look, I would like to believe I'm too pretty for work. Like, I think it's a crime that I have to have a job. And if any rich person out there wants to just give me enough money that I can just not do any work and, you know, live that luxurious lifestyle, I wouldn't say no. Right, all of us here are too pretty for work.
Always dress in Western clothes. Your determination just makes you more attractive to me.
Saint Nobody says, too pretty for work, but a self-described workaholic. Yeah, but here's the thing. I could work creatively without thinking about money, which is a whole different thing, because then you can just be like, I'm going to pick my one big project, and this is all I'm going to work on for like 6 months, regardless of whether that is a financially sensible use of my time. Like, you get to be fun creative when you don't have to think about like month-to-month income. You can be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to spend like the next 8 months making my video of yet more evidence that the left or right-handedness timeline split in Zelda is real, and Nintendo thinks it's real and it is official, and I'm going to prove it to you. I can spend like 9 months on that and be like, there we go, time well spent. Because, you know, I have like a rich patron, so I can just sort of swan about. Yeah, exactly. Saint Nobody in the Twitch chat put it well. Not too pretty for labor, but too pretty for vocational concerns. Exactly, you understand. For voluntary labor, yeah. Too pretty to have to work. You know, but not, you know, too pretty to want to work.
Shame, I think you're pathetic. Now, scram.
Okay, we've got to find our auntie, who's going to help us find our sister. Here we go. Also, I fucking love this auntie's design.
Oh, Jala. It's so good to see
Just
you.
casually baton twirling the weightlifting weights.
You are in possession of a minority opinion, Auntie.
Twitch chat is talking about Deep Rock Galactic. I got back into playing some of that while ill. I have now, like, retired my first 3 characters. I just have to go through with the engineer and do them up to level 25. I have a fancy new gaming handheld that can play Deep Rock Galactic that I've been fucking around with this week. Rock and stone indeed.
Nonsense. Half the town's happy to see you, and the rest is happy to have an opportunity to gossip.
You are utterly terrifying, Auntie Chandra.
And don't you forget it.
So, weird thing just happened.
Your grandmother sent an army of potential suitors to Timber Hills to ambush you?
Is this a family conspiracy? Have you guys all gone completely wedding bananas? Am I gonna be dodging marriage proposals every time I walk down the street?
Do you want the honest answer or a comforting one?
I don't think I can handle the truth.
I'm sure it's just a one-off. Your buddy probably doesn't have some kind of nefarious grand matrimonial plan for you that will be impossible to avoid.
Hey, Arevia, how you doing today?
Auntie clearly missed her calling as an actor.
Ugh. Just what I need. Thank God Bhakti's 8,000 miles away. That should give me some breathing space.
Jala, you know Arani's getting married in a month, right?
Oh my God.
Yes, my dear.
Bhakti's coming. Here. To Timber Hills.
I'm enjoying that we've got a lot of Deep Rock Galactic love in the chat. It's not a game I play often. It's not a game I really play by myself. But it's one game that I can always really enjoy falling into just like a whole afternoon of co-op with a lovely wife, Jane. We will sit and play. Jane is like considerably more into Deep Rock than me in terms of like she actually plays it by herself. But while we were ill, we did have a couple of afternoons of just going and mining together. It was lovely. Softex says, by the way, y'all, it's the end of the month. Yes, which means Gender Euphoria audiobook's out tomorrow, and at some point in the next few days I find out how much my book's made this last 6 months, and that's always fun. Ooh, Softex, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the gift sub. Thank you. Arevia, you should be happy. Yeah, you're having a good day. Congrats. I'm doing okay. I've spent like the last 8 days ill on bed rest, but I'm finally well enough to start making work and stream again. So considering the way I have been the last 8 days, the fact that I'm able to stream means I'm doing fantastic by comparison. Hooray not being on bed rest.
She'll be here at the end of the month. Sorry, sweetie.
Oh, Arevia, yeah, I got the flu as well. Yeah, I had about 4 days of like fever, shivers, headaches and whatnot, and just being exhausted. And then another 4 days of just, I am too tired for anything. But I'm just about on top of it again. And I am thankful that my wife also had the flu, which is like, I don't want her to be ill, but I'm glad I wasn't alone in it. There was something comforting in, oh, we're both dying, it's fine, we're both gonna die together, it'll be alright. Oh, Softex, thank you for another gift sub, thank you.
How about I clean up that skateboard of yours?
Okay, yeah, we have skateboard customization mechanics in this as well. I think right now, yeah, we've only got a couple of options, but we'll...
Indeed.
Hooray! We can go into the menu and customize our appearance, which for now is basically just the alternate board. Oh. Jala, I have a great idea. A brainwave. Can you come home now? That sounds ominous. Nothing bad, my suspicious little milkshake. The dad in this is great. I love him. He's such a lovely character. Echo says, not gonna lie, it's kind of funny how every time you say you're feeling better, you cough your lungs out, and it's like your body is going, oh, you thought... that I was unaware that I was doing that, but to be fair, that is because even all of this coughing this is nothing compared to where I was. I have moments where I can talk in between the coughing right now. Ooh, fancy. Okay, what does Dad want? I think this is where we get the Cooking Mama minigame. Softex in the Twitch chat says, it's your lung reminding you to take care of yourself. I am a workaholic. I didn't work for 8 days. For me, that is a minor miracle. I've seen people going, make sure you're taking care of yourself and not rushing yourself back to work. I avoided work for 8 days. I never do that. That's me taking care of myself.
Jala, I had a little thought. Just a suggestion.
Uh-oh. Dad's come up with one of his ideas.
Why don't you ask your mother for a cooking lesson?
Echo says that's like a year in Laura time. Exactly. I did a 15-minute conversation. That was all the work I did over 8 days. And that was, I will tell you the things I played, and then I will bugger off and leave the rest of the show to everyone else. Yeah, Andy H says, would doing Pogquisition count as doing work? I guess it does, but I explicitly was like, I will talk for no more than 15 minutes and then I bugger off. I'm not doing the whole 2-hour show. For me, that's restraint. Okay, we should ask our mother for a cooking lesson.
I hate following instructions. I'm an improviser. I thrive on the unexpected.
So what you're saying is, it's a recipe for disaster.
Dad, you know how I feel about puns.
They're great, and you should let your dad make more of them.
I can't help myself when you give me such a delicious opportunity.
Stop, I'm begging you.
But
It would mean a lot to your mother if you asked.
I have missed being in a well-stocked kitchen. We didn't really have the space at...
No, we are not talking about Jennifer with our dad.
Look, jokes aside, I'm trying to be better about, like, being less of a workaholic. There have been weeks where I haven't put up an accessibility episode and I've just been like, that's just the way it is. No worries. Like, I'm better about going, sometimes I'm just not up to it and that's okay. And not hating myself for that. Which I used to be much worse at. I will give myself I will let myself have moments where I'm like, it just ain't happening today.
He'll make that concerned face and we will die of guilt. Just give in.
Fine. Okay, but you're responsible for the consequences.
Saint Nobody says, needing a week off when you're not up to it is an accessibility accommodation in my book. Right. You know what's rude about it, though? I was too ill to enjoy media. I wanted to binge through a bunch of One Piece while I was ill, and I was too ill to stay awake and focus on it. That's rude. That was 8 days in which I could have been getting through more One Piece. Granted, I'm getting through it, but, like, that was a week of, like, prime binge One Piece time that I couldn't enjoy. That's the problem. The thing people don't think about when you're like, hey, I'm chronically ill, I get ill, like, weirdly frequently. It's like, oh, you're taking a day off ill. Enjoy having the day off doing nothing and enjoying your media. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna be enjoying it. That's the point. I'm ill. Probably not gonna be making the most of that time. Yeah, I was too sick for anime. I was watching One Piece, and there was an episode that was about a sniper, a lying sniper man, and a living reindeer fighting against a person who could dig mole tunnels and a person who made explosives. So it's explosive whack-a-mole with a steroided up reindeer person. And apparently that wasn't enough for my brain to latch onto. I couldn't stay awake for let's play explosive whack-a-mole with the big roided up reindeer. I was too ill to focus on that. That's where I was at. Saint Nobody says, I can't tell if you're describing anime or a fever dream. One Piece is a bit of a fever dream sometimes.
Just promise me you'll put down the knives if you start arguing.
If.
That said, for anyone that knows One Piece well enough to, like, know where I'm at in this, just finished the Alabaster arc, so episode 130. The whole arc with Crocodile is done. Echo says, I joke, but not gonna lie, I'm the same when I'm ill. I just put on VODs of live streams so I can vaguely listen to people I like gabbing with chat while I hover in and out of consciousness. Yeah, I need stuff that I can just like drift in and out of and it's not a problem. One thing I did rewatch, because I already have watched it and therefore it didn't matter if I fell asleep in it, was rewatched Gravity Falls, because Jane had never seen Gravity Falls start to finish, so we did rewatch that while drifting in and out of consciousness. Anyway, let's do some cooking mama in this dating sim.
I had an idea. Could you teach?
Well, since you're so eager, I guess I can't say no.
Is our dad secretly an evil genius of emotional manipulation? Behind that benevolent facade, he's really got you and Mom worked out.
So Jane had seen some of Gravity Falls, but never all of it. Like, she knew about the vomiting gnome, and I know there's at least she was aware of like a FBI person jumping through a window and like grabbing a pig, and she was like, I know that much, but she'd never seen like the Weird Mageddon finale or anything. Like, somewhere between the first episode and the last episode, she failed to she didn't know where she'd gotten to. Softex says, as someone who enjoys listening to Podquisition, I hope you sometimes enjoy just listening and not straining your voice. I do. Things I enjoy listening to, very good comfort show to like fall asleep to, and like if I miss some of it, it's not the end of the world because it's completely immaterial to my life, is a podcast called The Empty Bowl, which is just two people very calmly over ocean sounds talking about cereal. And like, if I fall asleep in the middle of you telling me about like Captain Crunch's new cinnamon toast crunch churro, soft bake bars or whatever, I've missed nothing important, but I'm vaguely intrigued by your very calmly telling me about a thing that you're passionate about. And that's the thing I like about that show, is just, I may not know much about American cereals, I probably will never try most of these because they exist in a country I'm not in, but you're very passionate about them. Calmly tell me about that thing you enjoy.
How about today we start with parathas? Go wash your hands before we begin.
I just washed them, Ma.
It's water, not hydrochloric acid. Your hands won't burn off if you wash them again.
But
are you here to learn to make parathas or argue with your mother?
Yes, Mom.
Jala Jayaratna takes the high road. It's probably also a good day in hell, and somewhere in the world, a pig just got its wings.
And don't forget to scrub your nails.
Oh, Artisan, have a good night. Okay. So, sometimes you build up, like a hot pepper meter that you can use to, like, really impress your mum by doing, like, fancy, slightly more hard mode versions of steps in the recipe. So you've got, like, basic... you can compliment mum, which is, like, a complete... I love the compliment mum. It is a wheel that is like a 50% chance of either getting you a bonus or a negative, depending on what kind of mood mum is in and whether she wants to be complimented right now or feels like you're sucking up to her. Let's just do basic hand wash. Do a weird random flip.
Very good.
Indeed.
Okay.
Whisk the flour and salt together.
Oh, I love whisking. Feels very powerful.
Please try not to cover the entire kitchen in flour this time.
I was 5 years old, Mom. Isn't it time to let that incident go?
Let me move the webcam just enough that I can see my heat meter.
Good luck. Indian mothers hoard embarrassing childhood stories like dragons hoard treasure.
Just whisk.
Okay, I'm gonna do a super stir with one of my heat meters. Yeah, so you get more difficult prompts.
Sorry, was I supposed to praise your average performance?
Yeah, so you have harder prompts that you have to work harder to do, but you will get more points.
Mom. It really scares me when you're all weird and polite like this. I just know I've done something wrong.
What better way to deliberately terrify my youngest daughter than to patiently teach her to make parathas.
Patiently might be a bit much.
Really, Jala? When did you become this paranoid?
You were being horrible to me at the breakfast table, that's when.
Now, once the oil is incorporated, there's nothing like mixing with your hands.
Yeah.
You won't completely embarrass me in front of Patti. Now you roll the dough into balls and leave it aside to rest for an hour.
Don't you think we should actually have a proper conversation instead of avoiding our issues?
Absolutely not. I set aside some dough earlier. We just need to roll it out and fry it.
There's no time for an emotional conversation. I pre-made dough.
I really am an incredible teacher.
Finally, we did something well and she takes the credit for it. Thanks, Mom. Love ya. So very healthy. I do like that if you get 3 stars, you get the Ratatouille flashback montage.
Oh, Jala, it tastes decent. You're improving.
Mom, you had a flashback to your childhood. You had a Ratatouille flashback. You can't call it decent.
Guess I've always had it in me.
Or I'm just a very good teacher. Oh my god, when did it become so late? I have to go to bed. I have to be up early tomorrow. It's the teachers' union meeting and I promised everyone I'd make kiribat.
You could just say you're not feeling well and sleep in.
Jala, I hope that's a joke. I haven't missed a union meeting in a decade, and I'm not about to start now. Good night, Jala.
It is light outside. I do feel like Mum is using an excuse to get out of having an emotional conversation with us, just like maybe a little bit. Okay, it's no longer light out.
No luck finding your sister today, Jalawala?
No, but I talked to Auntie Chandra. She looks well.
Chandra's been fixing up skateboards for those kids in the abandoned amusement park.
Sounds like her.
She missed you, Jala. I'm not saying that to guilt you. There are people who love you in this town. More than you think.
Dad is good. This dad is so good. Yeah, Echo, this game is really... Look, this game is janky around the edges. When we get to the skate park, you will see the place where this game has the biggest problems. But I think it's a real diamond in the rough. It's well worth going through the little issues it has for the game that is in there.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What are you watching?
Some of your old basketball games. I taped them all. This one's from junior high. You made that great free throw. See?
He sees the good in the things you've done in your life, even if it's, hey, 10 years ago you did a good throw in a school basketball game. This is just a dad that thinks the world of you. In a very healthy way. He's just proud of you. Softex, I considered it. I'm not saying the mum is an inherently bad person, but I can very clearly see the trauma she is creating and the problems where she is reinforcing this poor relationship with her daughter. I'll say that. Anyway, Chapter 2. All adults smell faintly of cop. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. ACAB includes your parents. Disrespect your parents. Whoop, whoop. The BT, thank you very much for the 32 months of sub. What am I watching? It's that game about South Indians over in Canada. Yeah, it is. Okay, I got a story about all adults smell faintly of cop, and I think about this really regularly. I saw a TikTok from a woman who, like, the gist is she's trying to raise her children to have a healthy lack of respect for authority, and a healthy amount of just because someone's an authority figure doesn't mean they know what's right for me, and I shouldn't be afraid to push back against injustices from authority figures, which is a very healthy thing to teach your kids. But the point she makes is, when you consciously make an effort to teach your children that, you know, as children, you are the first primary authority figure in their lives, which means that you have to be okay with the fact that you are teaching them the tools with which they are going to push back against your authority as a parent, and you have to be okay with that. And it really makes me think of this all adults smell faintly of cop, is your parents are your first authority figures, and if you're gonna be like, hey, it's okay to tell authority figures to fuck off if they're just like completely missing the mark, that includes your parents. A healthy sense of anarchy, Softex, perfectly put. If you're going to instill a healthy sense of anarchy into your children, you have to be okay with that anarchy also applying to you, the parent that is teaching them that anarchy. So now we will learn that every day when we walk downstairs, there is a whole selection of new Cooking Mama minigames for us to do. You couldn't keep away, could you, Jala? Timber Hills will never let you go. It knows you, just like I do. Okay. Meet me where you went to find yourself, where you went to be free. You know the way. We've missed you, Jala. Cool, we'll go meet whoever that mysterious person was once we've done some cooking, Mama.
Oh, you're looking at the recipe for Ask Me. It's been too long since I've had it.
Come on, let's get into some mischief. Emma's not home. This is our chance.
She always finds out somehow.
Don't tell me you're scared.
Let's encourage Dad to be a little naughty. Have a snack.
Of your mother? Of course I am. That's how I'm still alive. How about I show you how to make it? This was my favorite when I was growing up, and that way you're in on the crime too.
Yeah.
Have you washed your hands, Jala Banana?
I'm going to super wash my hands.
Start by scraping some coconut for the okra mixture. Watch your fingers. Chandra always used to cut herself doing this. Arama made it my job after one particularly grisly incident. Forget I said anything. Incredible, bodydoers. Simply incredible. You know, Jala, you couldn't have asked me to cook at a more perfect time. I'm putting off calling your sister's venue, and this makes me feel like I'm doing something productive. How about you take on the next step, Podijua? Blend the coconut and the okra.
Echo, please let me know how doing full body spins while you wash your hands at work goes. I need updates on that. Banburb says, this is the right amount of over the top and I love it. Yeah, this game has like a very unapologetic sense of its own identity. Like, it knows exactly what game it is and it is not going to apologize for being that game. I love the failures more than perhaps the successes, because I love that she just did a kick flip off of the kitchen cabinet and then failed to hit the button on the blender.
Now we combine the rice flour, salt, and coconut milk and add the okra mixture. We are looking for the consistency of pancake batter.
The failures amuse me greatly.
Are you a witch, Jala? Because that was magic.
She has two such different parents.
Exes would say so.
Her and her mum could... her dad and her mum could not be any further from each other in terms of parenting styles.
I have to confess something to you, Jala. I've been avoiding calling the venue for your sister's wedding.
Ooh.
I have a certain history with the management of the golf course.
Ooh, a story from your dark and mysterious past.
It was harmless. We never hurt anyone. I had just moved, and it was stressful. We were just blowing off steam.
We?
Me and your Auntie Chandra. We used to sneak in from the sewers at night and joyride the golf carts.
I think this moment really explains for me like a big part of why he is such a different parent. It's very much implied that he had a wild, rebellious youth and has a degree of like, hey, yeah, you fucked up, but teenagers fuck up sometimes in a way that like mum really doesn't seem to have a reference point for.
Auntie? Joyrides? Sewers?
Light the stove, and I'll confess our unfortunate misdeeds. Don't tell Chandra I told you, though. She'll suplex me. Maybe I should be the one taking cooking lessons from you. The golf carts all use the same key, and the customer base, well, they would just throw the keys in the grass when they were finished. It was easy enough to use a flashlight to find them and then go wild.
Do they have your picture on the wall? Public enemy number 1.
Oh, nothing like that. We never got caught, but they did hire a security guy to drive around in a truck and stop us. There was only one time that he chased us back to the sewers. But what if he still works there? Harboring a vengeance after all this time.
I think you're past the statute of limitations by now.
That's a good point. Phew! I was so nervous. How about we celebrate with some arsme, huh? Coat your fingers in the batter and we'll get to frying.
Echo, that is one place where me and you differ on our shared backstory. Both my parents, cop. Both my parents, they had strict parents, they turned into cop. Like, that's the pipeline that I come from, is strict grandparents that made strict cop parents that somehow made me. How I was the end result of that lineage, who can say?
Have you considered becoming a chef, Chalu? Now, normally we'd need to fry the batter, leave them for 3 days, and then refry and top with syrup.
Softex I could not cop for many reasons. Too disabled to cop. Morally opposed to cop. Don't have the temperament for cop. Too much of a minority to cop. But also, you know, on top of all of those things, I've occasionally admitted in public to doing a crime or two over the years, and that's not good for cop. They don't tend to like it when cop has a book in which they admit they did a crime once or twice, maybe. There's a fair few reasons I will never cop.
Luckily, I started preparing some a few days ago. Fry these up and enjoy our delicious treat.
Wait a second. Are you telling me this was a premeditated snack crime you've... Hold on. Auntie Chandra moved first. But you weren't living here until we were kids. I was 6 already.
Oh, Scrangle. Uncomfortable labels, I acknowledge at least one crime. There is a section in Uncomfortable Labels where I talk about being autistic and using drugs, and like my history of like underage drinking through to occasionally having used drugs that were not legal in the country I lived in, and how that interacted with disability brain chemistry. So there's at least one book in which I have gone, hello officer, yes, I did a crime once.
But that means...
Are you telling me that while Aruni and I rested our little baby heads, you were out doing mischief?
Not so much these days, Bodhidua. Let's fry and keep this our little secret, eh?
Yeah, underage drinking is just a UK childhood crime. I'm certainly not alone in having done that particular, but that's a childhood crime. You know, I never specify at what point in my life I did illegal drugs. who knows? It could be statute of limitations ago. Who knows? Okay, let's go.
You've redefined the meaning of impressive with this.
Let's do the one more cooking minigame, and then we'll go find out who our mysterious text was from.
They're perfect.
Really?
This batch is too delicious to share, though. Looks like we'll just have to destroy the evidence ourselves.
Echo says, we were all shit-faced in a field with a bottle of White Ace at 13. I mean, look, I was an undiagnosed autistic kid with, like, severe sensory overwhelm going on, and no idea, like, no healthy coping mechanisms with which to deal with that. My coping mechanism as a teen was alcohol. Just turn all of the sensory down a bit. That is not a healthy way to deal with being autistic, but I didn't know what was going on or how to deal, or like what the coping tools for it were, so underage drinking it was. Oh, one more cooking minigame for today. But yeah, each in-game day, a couple more recipes pop up, which is great.
Your nails look extra filthy today. Have you been playing in the mud?
It works in as much as it turns every slider in the brain down a bit, and yeah, that does dampen some of the autism, but it does also turn down, like, my already poor fine motor control goes down, my already poor spatial awareness goes down, my already poor, my already poor ability to, what was the word? Is ADHD related word, impulse control. My already poor impulse control gets worse. You know, it came with its fair share of side effects. I'm not saying it was a good solution to what was going on in my brain.
Only in an emotional sense.
You've turned your life into a Hindi TV serial, and now you're joking about it. Really, Jala?
Take a deep breath or something. It feels like we're about to have a heart attack.
Why are you just standing there?
Yeah, there are certain times, like, I talk about this in Uncomfortable Labels, there are certain times in my life I have had unhealthy relationships to chemicals of varying kinds, because when you're living without a diagnosis for, like, your weird fucked up brain, and then, okay, we've got a diagnosis, but, like, ultimately there's nothing we can really do to help other than, like, teach you techniques, can't, like, really do anything about what's going on up there. You know, sometimes that leads to hodgepodging solutions where you can, because it's tiring to have a brain that is always doing at you. Echo, I get it. Right, let's do the super hand washing.
Adequate. Put dried red chilies, curry leaves, and salt into the mortar. Grind it up with the pesto.
And I just guess the amounts, right? With my instincts. It would be so much easier if you would just write down the proportions.
Not everything can be measured, Jala. Cooking is about feeling.
Oh, good. Now's your chance to flavor the dish with paralyzing anxiety.
Yeah.
Eve, what am I saying? Maybe I should lie down.
Oh no, I accidentally button mashed past Mum saying a compliment. Fuck.
Chop the red onions roughly.
Chop the onions roughly. Got it.
What's that? I wish you wouldn't mumble, Jala.
Echo, I'm a big fan of trying to do video game recipes one-to-one the way that the video game suggests doing them. I'm a big fan of watching people do that with Cooking Mama recipes and going, is this even vaguely viable to follow?
I wish you. Oh, what did you do?
I have no idea. Did you just talk back to me?
I'm too beautiful to die today, Jala. Apologize to Mom, right now.
I really didn't.
Been out of the house for 3 years and lost your manners along the way.
Ooh.
I better not hear that tone again, miss.
You won't, Ma.
Come on now. The onions aren't going to chop themselves.
Don't do these flips with a knife. Don't try and do knife tricks. Jala, you've already demonstrated you are not...
I've already given you too many compliments today.
You're not good enough, skilled enough to do these kind of dangerous things. You fuck up. Don't do it.
Now you add the onions. Once it's a good paste, add the umbalakada. They're dried fish flakes, so don't grind too much. We don't want...
Oh, this reminds me of my favorite ever, one of my favorite ever video game reviews I did, and it was for one of the Tales of games. This was back at Let's Play Video Games, and I got sent a press kit for this Tales of whatever it was game, where, like, cooking was a big component. And it came with, like, a really shitty cake recipe and some really cheap, like, cake-making utensils. And I happened to be Twitter mutuals with, he is... now passed away, but a former contestant on the Great British Bake Off who was really into video games. Incompetent Hero, thank you very much for the 16 months of sub. But yes, I was mutuals with a former Great British Bake Off contestant, and the way we did this review was I was reviewing the video game while he reviewed the quality of the cake recipe and cake making utensils, and the review jumped back and forth between being a game review and a review of this not particularly well thought out cake recipe. Yeah. Yeah, Louis Troiano, who unfortunately passed away, God, 3 years ago now. In 2020, he was back in 2014. He was in Series 5 of the show. Echo, thank you very much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. But yes, that was absolutely loved that review. In hindsight, it was that might be the most that like a person I've never met in person passing away like got me. It's someone I'd made a thing with and never had a chance to meet, but we'd had some really lovely conversations and it just kind of happened, as these things sometimes do.
Good. Do you remember Aruni used to eat umbalakada plain as a snack?
I used to call her fish breath and leave cat toys on her pillow. Good times.
Oh, thank you, Echo. Yes, it was the Baked Alaska series that he was on. Yes, it was Ian's Baked Alaska 2014. Thankfully, the person I was friends with was not any of the people involved in the Baked Alaska. Neither the person whose Baked Alaska was taken out the freezer or the culprit that took it out the freezer. So, I was friends with someone else on that season.
The two of you used to be so close at one time.
Before you messed everything up.
Anyway, this is no time for reminiscing. We have to season the sambar. To the salt. You won't. And last but not least, a good mix to incorporate the flavors, and we're done.
was now trying to remember. I've gotten myself thinking about the Great British Bake Off now. I was like, what place did I knew Louis didn't win that season of Bake Off, but I was like, I feel like he did well. Yeah, he was in the final 3. He was one of the runners up on that season.
What else do you expect, Jala? A parade?
There we go. We Cooking Mummed it up a little more. Now, I think if we persist, we can go do another interaction with one of the exes in a minute.
Did I do good?
Almost as good as mine.
Wow, seriously? Thanks, Ma.
Don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, the cooking minigame is the only place where you're going to find any early game positive interaction with Mum. If you do good at the cooking minigame, you get like a tiny bit of approval from her. And it's as much approval as you're going to get from her. Visit Barefoot Park.
Apart from your teenage makeout spot, Barefoot Park was meant to renew Timber Hills after the logging industry moved out. The loggers blamed environmental regulation. You think the northern spotted owl knew how much folks around here hated it? There were a lot of reasons the industry declined. Competition with Canada, over logging, mechanization. It's easier to hate the owl, I guess.
The owls do look like assholes.
But have you ever seen one of those owls? They look smug, like they're smirking at a joke they think you won't get.
Cyborg Girl says in the chat, I love my mom. My mom and grandma were also extremely critical when I was a kid, so I'm extremely responsive to this type of affection. Look, I'm not going to say it's healthy, but if you withhold validation from me and then eventually give me a little validation, I am going to go, I have validation! And it's not healthy, but I cannot deny I'm a little susceptible to it, you know. Tee-hee-hee.
Oh yeah, screw those owls. We should have destroyed their habitat.
Intermittent
completely
reinforcement,
for smirking.
exactly.
Anyway, the park never opened. The town overspent its budget. Timber Hills never really recovered. Just another declining town everyone wants to get out of.
Look, here's what I will look. That's the thing. It is a trauma. It's a neglect trauma response. I get it. As someone who was the family fuck up that could do nothing right until eventually I got a career where people know who I am and I get to fly around. Like, I have books and they're in shops and people sometimes ask me to talk about them. That's when my mum was like, "You're doing very well. You have passed from weird little fuck up of the family we don't really talk about to successful one of the family." And then I got validation, and that's the thing I got to unpack sometimes and be like, you seek validation where you find it lacking as a kid. That's just trauma responses. It's how they are.
Barefoot Park is its abandoned heart. Well,
Today's stream's been a weird vibe. I hope everyone's been okay. I hope everyone's been okay with casual discussion of like trauma-based emotional reward mechanics today. Yes, my mum always wanted to be a writer and still does want to be a writer, and me suddenly being a writer with a vaguely successful book was like, you are a success of a child now. I'm like, okay, gotta process that one. Am I with the reporter?
I'm here to skate. Is the skateboard not a big enough clue?
We don't let outsiders in.
I fucking love the vibe of this weird dystopian skate park.
You don't look like you're from the mayor's office, though you could be a cop.
How dare you?
Take that back. Right now. I do not give off a cop vibe.
All adults smell faintly a cop. It's not personal.
I mean, we do all smell faintly of cop. I do my best to scrub off the smell of cop, but I am an adult, and therefore I do smell vaguely of cop, and I get it.
Why would the mayor and the cops be interested in a bunch of skate punks?
It's not us they're interested in. It's the park. The mayor's been trying to sell the land, redevelop it into a mall. Wait a second. You're Jala, right? Why didn't you say so? Soundy's been expecting you.
Yeah, being British also doesn't help that I smell of cop. Again, I get it. I'm a white British woman who's an adult. Like, that's a recipe for a cop.
What exactly is a soundy?
Duh. He's the mascot of Barefoot Park. He's the one who invited us here.
Yeah, Echo, I was somehow the fuck up, despite the fact that my older brother once went to an airport with cocaine in his pocket and had to be reminded by my parents that that is not a thing you can take through security. So he went, oh shit, oh yeah, I had to dump it in a bin. He also once brought a sex worker home and tried to hide her living in our garage. He used to deal drugs out of his bedroom. In my opinion today, he was a pretty cool older brother, but I clearly had to be quite the fuck up of a disabled kid to still be like, my cop parents thought less of me than they did brother who had a sex worker living in the garage. I look back, my older brother, he fucking lived a life. Scrangle 3D says, nerves of steel to do that when both your parents are police. Yes. It takes nerves of steel to be 17 and dealing drugs out of your double cop parent household. Yeah, it's one of those, like, look, I'm not gonna judge the activities going on, but it's... You were doing those things in a cop household, and somehow that didn't make you the biggest, like, fuck-up kid in the house. How do you hide a human being living in your place in the first place? Well, it was winter, and my brother just gambled on my parents not going out to the garage much, because it was the middle of winter. I think that's as far as his thought process went.
Soundy's inside. He's the bear on the throne.
Okay, we're gonna do some skateboarding now. There we go. Yeah, suddenly the game's Tony Hawk for a bit.
Are you ignoring me?
This place was my escape. I came here to be alone.
You made sure neither of us would ever be alone again. Whatever. From now on, the skate park is all yours. Enjoy your headspace, Jala.
Who's messaging me at this hour? Is it important? Let's find out. Can't be that important. No, probably fine. Alright, check in on my various messages that are popping at me. Right, at this ungodly hour, exactly. There we go.
Jala, You came! Welcome! Ah! I'm glad to see you brought your skateboard.
Oh, it's you, Jala. I didn't expect to see you here.
Back to there we go. Yeah, Tyler's fucking great. Tyler is such a good fucking character. Fucking love Tyler. Okay. The bear invited me.
I got a mysterious phone call asking me to come to the place I went to be free.
You invited her here, but you won't even talk to me?
Ms. Rampersad was just leaving. We don't like outsiders. And we really don't like reporters.
The hell I was. I'm not leaving till I get an interview, on the record. The people of this town deserve to know what you're doing here with these kids.
You could never understand what this place means. Why it matters. Why the Cubs want to stay here with me.
Yeah, the vibes are already not great here.
How could we possibly trust you? You don't even skate.
But she does.
Oh, interesting. Is she your champion then?
Yeah, I am.
Does that get me an interview?
Complete my skate challenges. Defeat my prove yourself worthy of Barefoot
Okay, we gotta do skate tricks in order to like
I will tell my Cubs to answer
to try and get an interview for our ex with this bear and hope that that will repair our relationship with the ex.
She can investigate to her heart's content.
It's a deal.
Until then, Ms. Rampersad, you're not welcome here.
Don't even say a word, Jala. You owe me this. We need to talk strategy.
You think I don't know Ms. Rampersad's interview is just a ruse to off you into my domain? She thinks that what I'm doing here is nefarious. But no, I keep her out because she wouldn't understand what I'm doing here. That's why I let you in, because I want you to see.
I'm trying to remember, am I supposed to... Okay, yeah, I go straight to the fight with Bam. Oh, wrong button. Not that. There we go. Donato and Theo, the power couple of the skate park. We gotta do a battle against them.
Jala? You better dust off your moves, Grandma, cause...
Donato, I thought we agreed to lay off the age thing. Not cool, babe.
Yeah, what's not cool is you interrupting me in front of the enemy, Theo.
We gotta fuck with these two. We gotta break up their relationship. We gotta pin them against each other. Gotta emotionally destroy them.
It kind of seems like you two have a lot to talk about. I could come back later, maybe.
No, we're doing this now. See what happens when you interrupt, Theo?
Wow. Uncalled for, babe.
Get ready to taste defeat.
These two ain't healthy. I probably could help them fix their relationship, but yeah. I'm gonna jab at this one. Let's see. Heartless taunt on Donato.
Why follow the barefoot code when I have these sneakers?
And we can do through the heart on heartbroken enemies.
Are you even trying to defeat the enemy, Theo? Because it really doesn't feel like you're committed. Oh, now you're the expert on commitment. Ha! You're mad at me. I knew it. You took Miriam from biology to the end of the year dance. After you said you didn't want to go. So you went with someone else?
He's probably cheating on you.
Miriam's been my friend since grade school. It's not a big deal.
Your boyfriend obviously doesn't agree.
Shut up! Don't tell Jala to shut up. She's not the one who's cheating on me.
Yeah.
I'm not. Your jealousy is so out of control. This is all your fault, Jala. You're going down.
Right, these two are not in a good place. I am going to use that to my advantage to win this boss fight, though. I can see their weak point.
You just want us to be unhappy like
I can see their weak point. I'm going to attack it for massive damage.
You two seem real happy.
Stay out of our business, Jala.
Yeah, because you're handling it great on your own.
Here we go.
You alright? Why did we even start this fight?
Now you're heartbroken, which means I can just keep spamming that attack on you now. Free status effect affliction.
Are you cheating on me, Donato? No, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I really have emotionally destroyed this pair, huh?
My sister told me you were a player. I should have listened.
Look, I'm here to fix my relationships with my exes. I owe nothing. I have no responsibility to fix their relationship. This one's on them.
Theo, battle now, fight later.
I'm being silly. Oh, 100% this relationship is hanging by a thread. I take no responsibility for this falling apart. A stiff breeze would have ruined this relationship.
Was this the right shirt for this fight? So who is it? Who have you been sneaking around with? No one. I spent all my time with you.
Sounds like he's saying he's bored of you. You ever wonder what Soundy's real face looks like?
That is his real face. Shut up.
Okay, that is not a successful taunt type on him, but it's fine. We'll just beat him up regularly for a second. Let's just brute force it at this point for a sec. WP is willpower. It's the thing you use for like skills and taunts. It's your magic meter basically.
Anyone ever?
Okay, not affected by shocking taunts. What if I heartless taunt? Can I afflict that even though it's already been afflicted on him? Okay, it can, because it's no longer on the visible list. Okay, I could have done that earlier. That's fine. That's good to know.
You know what? Fine. I'm breaking up with you two. Well then, great. It's mutual. Go to all the dances you want with Miriam. Oh, I will. Maybe Miriam will be less of a jealous control freak.
Okay, this is real awkward. I'm just gonna go.
There we go. Boss fight achieved. I see you defeated them. I have a challenge to test your skating skills. Oh yeah, I gotta do skate tricks.
Perfect. Let's see how you handle my challenges.
I think we might meet Miriam later. Okay, I gotta do the burger challenge. Pick up some fake burgers. The transitions between the skating moves do feel a little janky, honestly. Right. Oh. I misunderstood what I was doing. I didn't just need to get 5. It was just by the end of the time, have as many as you can. I'm gonna restart this. Yeah, this is probably the place I would say the game feels the jankiest. And the thing I would most say is, like, a thing you just kind of have to get used to enjoy this game is the skateboarding mechanics feel a bit janky. They're not super great, and they're not terrible, but they're consistently a thing in your mind of like, oh, that's kind of janky and it's happening. Yeah, let's try that again and let's go for a bigger chain of them. Oh. Yeah, I'm not trying to get to the checkout point. I'm just trying to find anywhere with more burgers. So let's go for... those. Oh. Yeah, it's not going to be a great score, but it'll do. Yeah, I imagine C rank's fine.
Let's see how you wield that bow.
Do I have to... Okay, yeah. Meet by the weird rock once you're done with the thing. I need to talk to you about the skate park. No drama, let's be civil. Cool. Let's go see what Tyler's up to. Now we can try and fix that relationship somewhat.
Hi, Jala. You look like shit.
I'm trying something new, matching my outfit with my emotional state.
Ah, so you feel like shit too? Good.
How are you?
Ugh, what a vast and complicated question that I'm not in the mood to answer.
That's fair. You don't owe me any answers.
No, I don't. Ugh, I hate it when you agree with me.
Should I be disagreeing?
No, I'd hate that too. I hate everything right now. Let's just stick to talking strategy. Strictly business.
So, you work at the Timber Hills Gazette? Tyler Umpersod, girl reporter.
You can laugh, but local news is the lifeblood of democracy. I'm involved with the community. I care about this town. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
So this is incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, no shit, this is incredibly uncomfortable.
She can hear me?
Of course I can hear you. Are you okay, Jala?
Tyler can hear your conversations with your internal monologue. Yeah, Echo, yeah, Tyler heard your inner monologue.
I am definitely not okay.
I don't like this at all.
Well, I'm not exactly jumping for joy, but let's just set our whole thing aside.
Yeah, it really does seem like Jala is saying these thoughts out loud, huh? Doesn't it?
There's something bad going on in the park. Soundy's got his claws into these kids.
I did get a culty kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah? What tipped you off? The mysterious mascot? All the kids wearing bear masks? A lot of things have changed since you left town. Soundy's been recruiting for a while, but... Ever since the mayor announced she was going to sell off the park, things have gotten weirder. The Cubs stopped taking their masks off outside of the park. They don't talk to anyone. They're missing school.
Yeah, this does not sound ideal.
We have to do something. Soundy's stealing the whole town's future.
Isn't there someone you can go to? Parents, teachers? I don't know.
Half the parents in town are going out of their heads. The other half are pretending nothing's going on. They're no help at all. I'm not the only one who's worried. Auntie C's in on it too. A lot of the queer kids in town are involved. He preys on the misfits.
Yeah, I can see how adult wanting to start a cult would go, hey, you don't feel like you fit in or that people respect you or that you have a place to belong. In comes preying on that vulnerability.
Dia's been looking out for one of the kids who got involved. Salma.
Tyler and Dia working together? Things must be really bad.
Yeah, they are. But you're allowed in. They'll talk to you. That's our chance to break Soundy's spell. I couldn't care less about getting an interview. All I wanted was access. I have no idea why Soundy invited you to the park, but trust me when I say he has his own agenda. Forget about defeating the Cub leaders. You need to get through to them. Exactly like you did today with Theo and Donato. Now they've broken up. Theo's not going to stick around Barefoot. And maybe Donato might question his commitment to Soundy. You're not here to be a camp counselor. You're here to give these kids a wake-up call.
Hey, no biggie, but like, can I ask you, my ex, to engage in cult deprogramming of queer youth? You know, no biggie. No biggie. Just, like, break them out of the spell that is seeing this skate park as a safe, welcoming place that they should be spending time with a strange adult. No pressure, don't worry about it. Okay, Dad has an urgent request. Can you go to Loops and pick up a special package for me? Sure. Don't tell anyone about the weird package, not even Mum. Cool, Dad, I'll go get your mysterious package. Oh, you know, 100% if you feel like no one accepts you, you will seek out places of acceptance that might not always be the healthiest. I get that. I am Alex C. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Thank you. Softex, I'm going to be honest, I don't know enough about where this game is going to know whether skate park cult is preferable to no support. I don't know whether it's like innocent and actually quite benign or whether it is genuinely like unsettling, dangerous cult that like these kids should definitely not fucking have anything to do with. I don't know where on that spectrum we land currently.
You're Uncle Arvin's daughter? No way, he's so nice.
Uncle Arvin?
He used to fill my grandma's prescriptions. What's your problem? Here's what your dad ordered.
Cashew-flavored chocolate bar. That's the big mystery?
Wow, I never thought I'd be a part of my dad's candy smuggling ring.
Your dad is actually the coolest. Unlike you. Alright, get out of here, scrub. You're cluttering up the place.
Yeah, as someone who had my childhood desire for acceptance weaponized against me at points in my youth, yeah, there are people who will definitely fucking take advantage of, oh, you're desperate for any kind of support network. Well, here you go. The finger on the monkey paw curls. It's a very tight line between no one accepts me and no one will ever accept you, only I will accept you. Like, the line between I can offer you acceptance that you are not receiving elsewhere through to I am the only place you will ever be accepted, don't ever think acceptance could come from anywhere else, is a really fine dividing line. It's very easy to go from one side of that to the other. Alright, let's go check in with Dad on how our day's been.
Here's your special package, Dad.
Shh! Keep your voice down. Your mom has ears like a bat. Oh, thanks, sweetie. You're a lifesaver. That face. Are you wishing you hadn't come home?
Oh, Dad, you've really cut to the core of this, huh?
No, of course not.
You don't sound too sure. Don't worry, take it one day at a time.
He's so good.
Dad, stop being so sensible. Can we just watch TV for a while?
Of course. It was brave of you to come home, Jala. I'm proud of you for that.
Genuinely love this dad so much. Chapter 3, her thighs are too powerful. Jala came face to face with Tyler, her first love, whose heart she broke. Awkward. Oh, and there's now a cult of skate punk kids at Barefoot Park. And why does the creepy bear have a throne? Yeah, we're about to meet another ex. Echo, yeah, Dad did carry her up the stairs to bed like she was a little kid, yeah. Sergio wants a favor. Can you make kate sambal for me? If you find some time. Yeah, I can make that. I can make that for Sergio. Yeah, we can make this again for a side quest.
You don't like it.
It's not for me, it's for someone else.
Oh, is it? For Sergio, maybe?
Yeah, no, Jala just has ADHD. She's got too much energy and doesn't know where to put it. So the answer she came up with is backflip. Oh, got too much energy, nowhere to put it? Backflip.
Haha, busted.
How do you know?
I'm your mother, Jala. I know more than you could possibly imagine. I thought you'd be trying to fend him off, not cook for him. This is quite a plot twist.
Mom is underestimating the power of your thirst for his shiny new biceps.
Shut up.
What did you say?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Let's start.
Kate sambal is a simple dish. Time to wash those hands.
Okay. I'm gonna wash my hands so well, Mum.
There, put dried red chilies, curry, grind it up with the pesto.
Right. There we go. Best hand washing ever in a video game. Look at me go.
Chop up the onion.
Yeah.
You won't grind the onions into a...
Yeah, let's go.
Well done, Jala. That's what they say in basketball, no? Good. No. One of your dad's cousins brought us back a whole jar from
There
Sri
we
Lanka last
go.
month. Add salt and a...
Skim through this one.
One squeeze of lemon right at the...
There we go. I've seen through the matrix on this minigame.
Good.
Full bar. Look at that. Full meter. Completely did the meter in the top right.
Did I do good?
Almost as good as mine.
Wow.
Don't let it... I'm sure...
Literally perfected that meter. Could not have done better, Ma. Okay, so I've got that ready to take to Sergio. Which recipes have I not done? There's these two at the bottom.
Shall we make jalebis today, Ma?
Jalebis? Really? But you don't even like them. They are Aruni's favorite.
Yeah, that's why I want to learn how to make them properly.
Okay. Whatever you say, Jala.
Since I can't eat them, you better eat twice as much for me. But only if they turn out good.
Do I even need to say it? Hand washing, Jala?
You didn't actually need to say it, but don't let that stop you, Ma.
Very light the stove and heat up a pot so you can start.
Somehow I've really seen through the matrix on this minigame all of a sudden.
Very good. What else do you expect, John? Do you really have to make a big production out of simple tasks like lighting the stove?
Yeah, it's fun.
A little flair adds spice to life, doesn't it, Ma?
My mistake for even asking. Pour the sugar and water into the warm pot. Well done, Jala. Touchdown.
There are a few things popping up. There we go.
That's what they say in basketball, no? Stir the sugar until it dissolves, like your temper.
I wonder where I get that from.
You know, it provokes me when you attempt this rhetorical style of argumentation, Jala.
Oh, Mum, you don't like when I'm argumentative in conversations. Wonder where I got that from, Ma.
Find it quite patronizing.
Oh, you don't like it when people patronize you with their language they use for you, Ma. Is that it? You don't like being patronized to? It feels bad to have someone patronize you.
I was just responding to your little dig.
Was it a dig? Or was it just an observation?
You know it was a dig.
Well, since you're so sure, what can I do but agree with you?
Yeah, arguing with Mom is pointless.
Yes, remember to keep stirring until the sugar dissolves completely. You won't completely embarrass me in front of Party. Next step is mixing saffron with warm milk. Once it's dissolved, add rose water.
I love this.
I don't know if the narrator is just Jala talking out loud and not actually in her head.
Your Party sprays rose water on herself after a bath. Maybe that's why it's familiar?
I don't think that's exactly how I would describe Bati.
Yes, perhaps not. Her presence is more formidable than comforting, really.
Even when...
Especially... Now pour the milk mix. Keep it on low heat so it stays warm.
Okay.
I've already given you too many compliments today.
Irony's barely spoken a word to me since I've been back, you know.
Echo says, honestly, at this point, I'm willing to believe Jala is just so ADHD, her internal monologue is external. We've all been there, I think. Many of us with ADHD have been there. Oops,
So,
that was meant to be an inside
the
thought.
dry
Oops.
ingredients for you because you always make a mess with the flour.
Do you think you'll ever let that go? I was like 5 years old. I sneezed and the flour went everywhere.
I wish I had taken a picture. You were such a charming child.
Your extreme nostalgia from my childhood implies that you didn't enjoy my adolescent years at home.
I bought you all the black eyeliner and hot topic you wanted. Why don't we just focus on that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, fine. Mix water and dahi in a bowl and then add the flour. Make sure the batter's thick and smooth. Even Party would approve. What am I saying?
If these come out well, maybe I'll take some to Irony.
If you think that's a good idea.
I don't think that's an encouraging face you're making.
Oh, no, I'm entirely neutral.
You think I should?
Yeah. I didn't say that. Well, let's see how they come out first. Fill the piping bags with the batter you just mixed and pipe spirals into the hot oil. Once they're nice and golden, dip them in the warm sugar syrup and serve hot.
One missed prompt there.
I really am an incredible teacher.
Still full meter. Couldn't have done much better than that. Oh, those look good. Those look nice. Okay, we've got one more recipe. And then we will head a little further in, and then we'll call it for tonight.
I'd serve these to guests.
Wow. Really? Thanks, Ma.
Well,
Maybe not to desi guests, but still, not bad.
you had to pull the compliment back. Couldn't just let it be, could you? Yes, it would be good if we could meet the ex with the big thighs today. I think we probably have time to meet the ex with the big thighs.
Left another college brochure in my room, or was it Dad?
I'm in the middle of making dal makhni jala. Maybe we should have this conversation later?
I'll give you a hand.
Looks like you're quite determined.
Ha! You're not getting out of this conversation that easily, Amma.
I'll go wash my hands.
Once I'm done with trying to impress Mum with my very good hand washing. But we'll definitely be doing...
You a knife while you're in this mood?
That depends on if you're going to avoid the subject.
I'm definitely going to be streaming more of this on Wednesday and Friday this week.
We're making dal jala. That's the only subject you should be focusing on.
Denied.
Just chop the tomatoes, jala.
I blew off college. There. I said it. I blew off college and all the plans we made together and left town with Jennifer.
Don't say that woman's name in this house.
See? We knew you'd never accept us. That's why we had to leave.
Or was it because she knew she needed to get you away from us because we could see through her? At 21, you think you're all grown up, but you're still a baby.
21. That's how old Jala is, for those who were wondering earlier.
At that age, someone who is 10 years older has a lifetime's more experience.
Yeah. You were 21 dating a 31-year-old. Look, I'm not going to say it can't work, but there's a lot of ways it can go not great. That.
Says the woman who has a 6-year age gap with her husband.
I have a, 12-year age gap with my wife, but I'm in my 30s. I think it like that kind of age gap. It matters less as time goes on.
I am not saying that to her.
Absolutely do not. We want to live to see tomorrow.
Even if you didn't trust us, you should have trusted Aruni.
Oh, Aruni would have loved that. Me messing up so spectacularly. She'd have run to you the minute I finished telling her.
Maybe. Maybe not. You'll never know now, will you?
I'll just puree the tomatoes, shall I?
Here we go.
I knew you had my cooking genes.
I know you have something to say, Ma. You might as well say it.
You really want me to? But it's not too late to admit you made a mistake. You can still go to college.
I made my decision 3 years ago.
Or are you just too stubborn to admit you made a mistake? How much of this was that girl's idea? It's easy for someone like her to say. People like us need an education to get ahead in this country. Oh, God. You've got me so worked up I've forgotten what we were doing. Light the stove. Add butter and ginger garlic paste once the pan's hot. Quickly now. Well, that's what they say in basketball. Fry the Kashmiri mirch and then pour in the tomato puree before it burns. The timing's everything.
That sentence wasn't loaded with significance at all.
If you understand my meaning, you understand. I have nothing else to say.
How long do you think that'll last?
What did I just say about timing? Before it burns, Jala, or we'll have to start again.
Okay, Mom. I'm doing it.
Good. But don't get overconfident. What if you wake up in 10 years and feel like you've missed out? Not just on your education, but the whole college experience.
Then I'll regret it. You've got to allow your kids to make choices that they might later regret. You can't force them to make choices they don't want to make out of a hypothetical regret that might later come.
I can't answer that, Emma. I don't know what I'll think in 10 years. But that's life. We make our choices, and we have to live with the consequences.
That was actually very wise. Though I guess I would think that, as a manifestation of your psyche in the form of your emotionally remote sister.
You have to trust me. Trust what you taught me.
An answer for everything, this one. Time to...
I think you've already done that, Mom.
Ay, Jala! You get your unfortunate sense of humor from your father's side of the family. I really am an incredible teacher. Now we just add the reduced puree to the dal, but the dal isn't done, but I can finish it up. You go do something fun, Jala. Get out of the house, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this parent-child relationship, huh? Oh, these two.
Very good. What else do you expect, Jala?
Okay, we're done. We made a lovely meal, and now we're going to leave our mum and just not think any more about her. We can help it.
It's a fun... Come on, Ma. How often is a doll so good you're inspired to write about it?
You know how your dad came to America a year before me so I could get a visa?
Yeah.
Half his letters home were about how much he missed my doll.
Oh, come on.
Believe what you want. I don't need to boast.
Hey, Casey. How you doing? Cool, so we've done all of the recipes now, so we can head out. And for Cyborg Girl, hopefully go meet the person with the big with the thighs. Meet with Sergio is over here. Oh, Softix, thank you very much for the gift sub. Right. Yeah, so we're gonna go see Sergio first. I think that's gonna lead to us meeting Thick Thigh X. I think. We'll see. I'm trying to remember how we get to them. How's Sergio doing?
You actually made me kate sambal? Wow, thank you.
It's not a declaration of eternal devotion or anything.
Oh, no. Of course not. Maybe just fleeting devotion?
Were you always this cute? Or is this a new development?
I aspire to greater and greater heights of cuteness each year. Gotta have goals.
I do enjoy Sergio's voice actor a lot.
So, how's it been being back home?
My mom didn't shout at me. She's actually being really polite.
Oh God, that's horrible.
That is such a perfect response to. Oh, it is yeah. We've just sat watching her be fake polite for a while, and yeah, I'm glad that Sergio gets it.
Right? Like some wasp mom off the TV. Please, and thank you, and would you like a snack?
Oof, you must be waiting for the axe to fall.
Yeah,
No way. Our mom is gonna let you marinate. Hope you like stew.
Thanks again for the sambal, Jala. And hey, you've got my number. Text me if you want to talk.
Indeed.
Ray, you can now text Sergio at any time from the relationship menu. It's a menu you have access to now. Okay, Tyler wants us to go to the skate park. Okay, we gotta do that before we can go meet Thick Thigh X. We'll see, we've got at least like half an hour. We can maybe meet them tonight. Contact not found yet. Okay, we'll just progress the plot for now. Ooh. I'm glad to hear, Casey. That's cool. Right, so we've got to do some more skate tricks now. And then I think we get next X.
Jala, Jala, Jala. I knew you couldn't resist the call of the park. Before you embark on your next battle, you need to sharpen your skills.
Indeed.
Oh, I've got to do... Yeah, I've got to do a big combo. Yeah, we can do at least one of these. We get one big, really big combo. Let's end the combo there. That'll do. S rank. Yeah. Okay, can I progress the plot now?
It's time for you to face another of my couple. Our CeCe. How would one describe her? Perhaps a pufferfish made of cotton candy, a statue encasing an exposed nerve, a block of ice surrounding a flaming, bleeding heart. CeCe's passions were all consuming before I gave her direction. Her dreams vibrated from under her skin before she gave them up for me, of course. Don't be fooled by her apathetic demeanor.
The Ditto channel point redeem has never worked once since the day I made it, and I've never remembered to remove it. At this point, it's more of a running joke in this chat that it exists and does nothing than its intended purpose, which at one point I tried to make work and never worked, which was to have a little PNG tuber Ditto that when you use the channel point redeem would text to speech your channel point message, and has never functioned, not the once. But in theory, I believe that's what the Ditto redeem was meant to do, and it just never... I lost like 2 days to trying to make that channel point redeem function, and it just never did. And I could never work out what I was doing wrong.
You really have these kids twisted around your plastic claws, huh?
Just because they're young doesn't mean they don't know their own minds. What a disappointingly tedious opinion. I expected better from you. Enough chit-chat. Here in Barefoot, we let our skills do the talking. I'll be awaiting the outcome with great curiosity.
Okay. Where do we head? It's this way. Hooray, boss fight time.
Oh, yeah. We have to fight or whatever. Let's get this. I will defeat you. Etc., etc.
So, my name is Jala. It's nice to meet you. This is the part where you say your name too.
It's CeCe. Can we fight now?
Do you even know?
Trust me. I know all about your whole prodigal son returns thing, Jella. But apparently, your past includes you breaking my best friend's brother's heart. Now, she hates you. And I might have some bad news to tell her, so I definitely need to destroy you. It's just not personal.
I've heard about Soundy and your best friend, but nothing about you. You should get in touch with your own wants. I know I did it too much, but it's good to check in with yourself.
Is that what you consider our dynamic? Checking in?
Yeah, easy for you to say. You've never been loyal to anyone, anywhere, or anything in your entire life.
That's a pretty biting comment.
You know what? I actually am pissed off now. Prepare to die, but like with more intentionality now.
Okay, what are your weaknesses gonna be? I feel like Heartless is a good place to start.
You're so scared of what other people think. It's obvious middle school did a number on you.
Okay, yeah, so that's a good starting place.
Soundy's loyal to this town because he loves it. Aisha's loyal to the people she loves, and I'm one of them. If I just left, I'd be as gross and toxic as you were.
I'm sure Aisha would want you to be happy. I think if you talk to her, she'd understand. If you trust her.
Stop trying to advise me. I'm not you. I'm not making your mistakes.
Crispy little bits, I'm feeling better than I was. I'm still, as you can probably tell from the intermittent coughing, still not 100%, but I'm well enough I got some work done today, so, like, I'm getting there. Tara in the chat said, just wanted to say, really enjoying the last bit of Resubian, like the idea of trying to create peace. I'm pretty darn happy with how this season of Dice Funk ends. I think where we're at currently in the season is Trizzy has just learned what the nature of her connection to the ship is, and what it is she is connected to in the ship. Is that correct? I think that's... And maybe that wasn't as exciting of a reveal as Trizzy might have wanted it to be. Is that about where we're at?
Actually, I'm more convinced than ever in the cause. Now, I'm gonna beat you for Soundy and Aisha.
Teenagers are such contrarians.
Yes, the dramatic anticlimax.
Eat me, dork.
She really doesn't mince her words, does she?
Yeah, there's a couple... I wasn't sure what that answer was going to be, and it was an interesting choice Austin made about what that core character motivation played out to be.
I'm going to defeat you for her. Just...
Okay, well, you're raging, which means I can use Raid Side A against you now. Oh.
The enemy of my friend is my enemy.
I'm pretty sure that's not how the saying goes.
Whatever.
There we go. You shook that off. Yeah, just basic attack, I think, at this point.
My heart wasn't in it. It's not in any of this, really.
You need to do what's right for you. The people who love you will understand if they really care.
Maybe you're right. I've been trapped in how I've been thinking about all this. It's my life. And no one else has the right to tell me how to live it. Not even Aisha. Or Soundy.
Yeah, go live your own life. Go do what you want to do. Right. Meet me at that rock. Okay, go see Tyler. Hopefully they will be happy with the end result of that. There we go. Yes, we've started recording season 11 of Dice Funk. Not super far in, but I think 2 episodes of each half of the season, so like 4 episodes total are done. So I've had a couple of opportunities to play my next season character
CeCe to
now.
question Soundy and think for herself.
My sister's been avoiding me. Has she said anything to you?
Lots of things, but I'm not getting in between you two. And even if I did, I definitely wouldn't be on your side.
Oh, Tyler is our non-binary ex. So the gist here is we are playing as Jala, who had a bunch of messy breakups with a bunch of exes before leaving town. Tyler is the ex. First true love, really fucking bad messy breakup. We've come back to town to basically try and like make amends and like make up for the bad fucked up breakups we had with all our exes. So we're in town trying to like make things right and have emotionally mature, responsible conversations about like what went wrong and like how we can be friends again after messy breakups. This is Tyler. Tyler is trying to work out what's up with the bear-related cult in the skate park, and we're trying to help with that in the hopes that that means we can sit and have a conversation like adults eventually.
I think you pissed her off.
Just you breathing pisses me off. If I hadn't given up on skating, I wouldn't even need you to get in the park.
You're the one who taught me how to skate in the first place.
Yes, definitely trans voice actress, yes. Or that actor.
I wanted an excuse to spend time with you. I liked to skate, but you loved it. You always looked so free out here. Unencumbered. Whatever. We're not here to talk about the past. Next time, you'll be battling Aisha. It's not going to be easy. She hates you personally, not just on principle. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, I think this is when we can go meet... Yeah, big, thick thigh ex. Didn't think you'd actually pick up after what you've done. Meet me in the bar, let's have a chat. Cyborg girl, don't worry, it's time. You're gonna get to see her today before we finish this stream. Yes, you know that this is the X when Tyler is on every loading screen. It's like, yeah, all of these are people that Jala dated, but like, not every one of these characters gets a tattoos visible placement on the loading screen. Oh, not here, it's the bar, not the diner. I've muscle memoried here, that's on me. It's the other side of this initial walkway. Here we go. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for another X boss fight.
We met at...
Yeah, you're that annoying reporter's champion. Shouldn't you be off doing your taxes or something? Playing bingo?
I get it. I'm older than a teenager.
I'm pretty sure we were in high school at the same time.
Oh yeah, Uncle Hinty. Yes. Yes, Uncle Hinty is great.
It's called senior year for a reason. Whatever.
Ooh.
Did you come in here for a drink? Or do you have no better place?
You're old enough to be serving alcohol in a bar. I can't be that old to you.
I'm meeting someone, just staying out of trouble.
Like, these kind of comments I would expect if you were like 14.
That's a bummer for you.
Why?
This is America, or is it Canada it's set in? Might be 18, might be 21. Gotta be at least 18 if she's serving drinks at a bar. Which seems like old enough to maybe not be being like, oh, grandma.
Cause someone's just come in for you, and she looks like trouble.
Oh, here she is.
Hey, Jala. What's it been? 3 years? It feels like centuries.
Maybe this won't be as bad as we thought. She sounds friendly.
Oh, I've been waiting for
I
this.
heard you got your heart broken.
Ah.
How does it feel to crawl back home to lick your wounds?
I'm glad my misery is such a source of joy to so many people. Between you, Sergio, and my mom, it almost makes up for it.
Take it as a compliment that I'm assuming you have a heart.
You always loved holding on to grudges.
Not all of us are so easily distracted by the next shiny object. Am I making you nervous, Jala? Good. Get used to it.
Dia? So I made it to this boss fight when I was playing this before that one position I talked about this in. Dia is such an interesting, complex character. Like, she's the character that really sold me on this game, having some interesting textural depth.
I'm not your pawn anymore.
As we will get into in a minute. I have so many things to say about Dia. But we'll get into them as and when elements of this fight start to come up. The kind of girl your mother warned you about. She's looking for revenge or maybe a date, possibly both.
I am a queen, and you will bow down.
Oh, honey, I don't get down on my knees for just anyone.
Show some respect when you speak to the Maharani.
Dia used to be the middle school mean girl. On the outside, her life was perfect. But really, she was deep in the closet. What began as Jala confronting Dia about bullying Tyler turned into a torrid secret romance.
Yeah, so this is a messy fucking relationship. The gist here, Dia, super internalized homophobe in the closet, is very publicly homophobically bullying Tyler. Queerphobically bullying Tyler because, you know, internalized in the closet homophobe as you do. Jala goes to confront Dia about this. They end up having a secret little romance, which having a romance with someone who has so much internalized homophobia about their own identity that they would bully someone else for that same identity, that's a recipe for a really fucking messy relationship.
Those hormones really had a grip on Jala in middle school. Rude. They even started a band together to have an excuse to meet up. But let's just say things ended messy. For the band, and for them. Dia's never forgiven her.
You've been brought before the throne to stand trial for your crime.
These eyes and the sort of gem guards, this is where I started really getting those Persona 5 vibes.
I demand proper representation. This is a violation of my rights.
Why don't we just skip to the execution? Yeah, we all know she's guilty. You're making me sound like a tyrant. Please, continue. Jala Jayaratna, you stand accused of being a traitor, a liar, a betrayer, and worst of all, a shitty friend. Let the trial begin!
Okay. I think Thirsty Taunt is the obvious starting point for Dia.
My heart started pounding the moment I saw you on that bar stool.
I could tell. Your face was always so transparent.
Oh! No, that is not the taunt we need.
I want to show you how I saw us. The world trembled beneath our feet. Our shadows eclipsed stars. Guitars in our hands, we'd lay waste to galaxies. You by my side as my general, my warlord, my celestial commander. And you would kneel only to me.
Okay, Heartless Taunt.
Did you get all dressed up to impress me? How sweet.
Ugh, it's working on you though, isn't it?
Yeah, well...
Okay, so now we can get in with Through the Heart. Oh, the soundtracks to all these boss fights are so good.
We started a band together, Jala. That's eternal. That's sacred. We practiced for weeks for Battle of the Bands. We were ready to go on that stage and dominate. I waited for you all night. Begged the organizers to put us on last. Thought you were just running late, but you never showed. I was humiliated. On that stage, we would have been queens, conquerors, gods. We would have been invincible. But you threw it all away. You threw me away. You abandoned the Maharani. I never understood why.
Oh, come on. Don't pretend you don't know. I asked you to leave Tyler alone. But you didn't just keep messing with her, you escalated.
Yep. Because, like, look, I kind of get this from Jala's perspective. I think the way I see this is Jala went, hey, look, if I'm in a relationship with you, maybe you will stop hating the fact you're gay so much, and you'll, like, ease off on bullying Tyler because, like, you're gonna heal some of that trauma and feel less bad about the fact you're gay. And nope, all that Dia seemingly got out of that was, like, I feel even more guilty about being gay now that I'm acting upon those thoughts, therefore I'm going to escalate my homophobia. Seems to be the vibe.
Yeah, duh, I was jealous. Can you blame me, given how things turned out?
But after what you did to her, you and me, we were done.
So, you replaced me? The next thing I know, you show up to school on Monday morning on Tyler's arm. You announced you were together to the whole school. And what could I say then? No one knew about us. I just had to watch your romance play out.
I can't imagine what that must have been like.
Yeah, it probably did suck to move on to someone else that quickly. You know, there's at least a little suckage to go around.
No, you can't. I had to watch you get everything I wanted, but could never have. After you stabbed me in the heart, you fought for Tyler. Me. You left me in the dark.
I mean, it was your choice to stay in the closet and to continue to, like, escalate your homophobic bullying. Like, that is on you.
You were so in love with her the entire time you were with me. Just admit it. I was nothing but a rehearsal for the main event.
If accurate, shitty of Jala. That's the thing. I really like that this game, like,
the way you touched me back then. You can't
yeah.
fake that. You felt
the relationships are genuinely like, look, both sides made some really fucked up teenage decisions in the way that happens. I like these as representations of, like, it's hard to clearly point to either person in any of these breakups in this game and go, clearly you are in the right. Yeah.
When I kissed you, it felt like waking up, like being set on fire, like being on stage, bathed in applause. You didn't even realize you held my heart in your hands, did you? You were so careless.
Never took you for someone who wanted to be followed around by a bunch of yes men.
First of all, they're yes women. You know I don't do men.
Oh.
What you did to me back in middle school sucked. But you know what's worse? Your parents accepted your sexuality. They love you. You are so goddamn lucky to have grown up with Auntie C in your corner.
Echo in the Twitch chat says, being a messy, awkward, closeted queer, just figuring things out is a rare thing to see portrayed in media, and even rarer they get it right. Yeah, like, I don't think anyone would say that Dia here is portrayed as having been a good person for the things she did. It's not saying it's okay that she did these things because she was in the closet. But I think it does a good job of going, it's not an excuse. It does explain where the behavior came from. And, like, I think it does a good job of, like, portraying that kind of, like, messy, but you understand how it happened relationships. Softdex, maybe, but I also have to, you know, put out vaguely publishable audio, so...
But you left town with Jennifer and didn't come back for 3 years? Talk about ungrateful.
Also, Softdex, just for a note, I'm pretty sure it's not actually that I have something in my throat. I think there is a specific thing because I was coughing so much last week that there is an inflammation that's making it feel like I have something I need to cough up, and that the advice is actually to try not to cough because that's actually just going to re-inflame the inflammation. So trust that I know what I'm doing with my cough and that I'm following best practices and I'm not, like, resisting coughing for no to my own detriment. Don't worry, I know what's going on with my body. I'm doing my best. Yeah, let's see.
I couldn't come back. I had to set it all on fire. I couldn't leave myself a path of retreat, you know?
You are still so self-absorbed. Do you even know what happened to me after high school? I came out to my parents. They kicked me out. They pretend like they don't even know me when we pass on the street.
What do you even say to that?
And look, here's the thing. Not to say that, like, her homophobic behavior is okay, but I can understand how, if you have the kind of parents where, like, that is going to happen when you come out, like, you've got to be living with some pretty fucking homophobic parents and with a lot of self-hatred. And, like, I see how that kind of parenting is gonna lead to some internalized homophobia. Yeah. Echo says, when we were in school, Section 23 was still law for most of our schoolhood, and the attitudes didn't really change when the law did. So I still have vivid memories of scared, messy, confused relationships, especially because I was in an all-boys school. Yeah. There is a fantastic book, I think it's simply called Section 23, that is an anthology of 23 stories from various people about their experiences with Section 23. It's a heavy book, but it was a very good anthology that was very validating to read as someone who grew up largely during Section 23, but in a way where, like, I wasn't aware of a lot of that until later. It validates a wide range of experiences of quite the ripples that legislation had. Section 28. Yes, I do mean Section 28, Casey. I read Section 23 in Echo's message, and my brain was like, sounds close enough. No need to apologize, Casey. Thank you for catching that. Yeah, let me find the anthology I was thinking of. It's... Oh, it is simply called 28 Stories from the Section 28 Generation, which, funnily enough, if you search Section 28 Anthology, the second link on Google is my review of that for trans rights. WRITES, writing about trans stuff. I read a review of that book. For the few times this year I did a book review.
Stop. I don't want your sympathy. Being me came at a cost, and I paid it. But you've always had it so easy. It is time you learn how to suffer.
Indeed.
Okay, the weaknesses have changed. Something big and suspicious is being charged up.
Be honest with yourself. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Almost as much as you are.
Is that? Are you paying attention yet, Jala? Or do I need to step up my game?
I am both paying attention and also very, very distracted right now.
There we go. Oh, that was a big hit.
Earth to Jala. This is not the time to get distracted.
Her thighs, they're just so powerful.
Snap out of it. Your ill-timed thirst is gonna get our...
I have been inflicted with a thirst effect. All I can do is stare for this turn.
Doesn't really look all that comfortable.
That's because she brings the padding with her.
Rooney?
What? I'm supposed to pretend not to notice her ass? Okay, we need help with this whole situation. Remember how we summoned Mom before?
Mom? Seriously?
No! Think, Jala! Who do we know who's an expert in messy lesbian psychosexual drama?
Who's an expert in messy lesbian psychosexual drama?
You're right.
It's our Auntie Chandra!
Summon Auntie Chandra. If she can't help you out of this one, you're doomed.
We have to summon in the lesbian auntie to help.
Auntie!
Have a little workout session together to get rid of our negative status effects. Lesbian vodka to the rescue, yes. This game is so good. I love this game. I love this disjointed, chaotic mess of the video game.
Flame my heart out, Jala. The least you can do is enjoy it.
Okay,
What I wanted was revenge, but the truth
she's got new
is,
weaknesses, okay.
I'm still not over you, Jala. Be honest, you're not over me either.
Are you kidding me?
When Irfan told me you kissed him in junior year, I knew. You cheated on Tyler. You were obviously bored of her, but it wasn't about Irfan.
Echo, that's the thing I think is like really of note about this game. Echo says it's doing so many things and it's genuinely impressive how it's doing most of them really well. This is a messy, disjointed, complicated game about messy, complicated, disjointed relationships. It is awkward and janky, but at the core really full of something very endearing and sincere in a way that mirrors, like, the mechanical mess of this game feels very at home with the subject material. It is janky and a little rough around the edges, but you can look past it and see that there is something worth pushing through to find in a way that is probably not intentionally, but is somewhat analogous to the narrative text.
It was a message to me. That's why I told everyone what you and Irfan were doing behind Tyler's back.
Okay, I was the one who messed up, so I have no grounds to complain. But Irfan? He was ostracized. Everyone blamed him.
I just told the truth. You were the one in the wrong. I went out with Irfan after my thing with you blew up. Of all the boys in school, you picked my ex? Come on.
You don't even like boys.
I was figuring things out. He was nice about it, actually. As boyfriends go, I could have done a lot worse. You can lie to, but what we had, what we did to each other, none of it was good or bad. It was true. I'm not sorry, and I don't want your apologies. All I want is a chance to transform you in return.
Okay. Try for Thirsty Taunt again now that the weaknesses have changed.
Can I just say, I'm finding your pettiness confusingly hot right now.
Okay. Not affected by Thirsty Taunt.
It's been too long since we've had an execution.
Wow. Bloodthirsty little thing, aren't you?
They're what I made them. I'm the one in charge here, after all.
Okay, Raging Taunt, maybe.
I have to be honest with you. The Battle of the Bands in middle school barely makes it onto my list of hometown regrets.
Yeah, that'll do.
How do you like my new sound, babe?
I see why you gave up the guitar.
Your every smile is a blade to the heart, my queen.
Okay. We blocked that well.
She doesn't deserve your mercy, my queen.
Okay.
Your every move is a poem, Maharaj. Forget words. know, just rationalizations and justifications. Words lie. The truth is in the music. Let's play.
We still sound good together.
Don't you dare forget it.
Okay.
I thought it would make me happy to see you heartbroken, questioning yourself. And you know what? I'm over getting revenge. I'm over apologies. I'm actually over you.
We can still be friends, Dia. It's not too late.
Maybe. I've let you be the protagonist of my story for way too long. You're not even the villain, as much as I wanted you to be. And that's as far as I can go right now. Is that enough?
I can work with that. Thanks, Maharani.
Yeah. There we go. Not on great terms, but better terms. You're not the hero of my story or the villain. You're just in it. And I've got to go and live my life less fixated on your role in it. Like, that's a fairly healthy place to get to post messy breakup.
Look, I can't believe I'm saying this. Sergio was right. Jala's changed. We talked it out. We even played the guitar.
Is that a metaphor?
Why? Are you jealous?
No. Why would I be jealous? Jala and I are just good friends.
Then you won't mind that I made beautiful music with her?
Ugh, you're both pathetic.
Oh, please. You think you're immune? Wait till you see her in person.
I have already.
What?
She's helping me with my investigation into Barefoot Park. And see, I haven't lost my mind, unlike you two. I told you, I'm over her.
So what you're saying is, you two have regular plans to meet up. Just the two of you.
They're not dates. It's for the investigation.
They sound a lot like dates, babe.
Call me babe again, Tarzan. I dare you.
If we're going in chronological order, it's it first.
Excuse me? I think you have your timelines confused.
No way. I made a diagram.
You said to count you out.
Maybe we could skip me, just for now?
No way. We all agreed.
Apart from me.
Apart from Tyler, who's still in denial about her
He
participation.
did make a diagram.
We're in this together, all the way to the end.
And that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's Thirsty Suitors stream. I am probably going to stream this entire game start to finish over the coming couple of weeks, so look out for another stream on Wednesday at 10 PM UK, 5 PM Eastern, 2 PM Pacific. I really like this game, and we have currently seen about as far as I've seen of it, so I am excited to get further into it and see a bunch of stuff I haven't seen, because I want to see this game through to the end, so come on this journey with me, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to go rest this voice so I have enough of it left to record Queer and Pleasant Strangers and another accessibility tomorrow. Rest well, everyone. I'm going to go raid over to the lovely Comrade Zimmerman. Have a good rest of your evening. Good night.